Join the staff at CPW's in Greenville for a classic road trip down Highway 61 as they feature excerpts from their classic Blues Highway food and drink menu. Come celebrate Blues Brothers Night every Thursday with bar specials. Open for lunch with new lunch specials and everyday features, including pizza, salad, and quesadillas. Also offering drop-off catering for work and school events. CPW's, Stanton Square, across from the hospital in Greenville.
0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero, 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
The best place in Greenville to unwind and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's is open every day with great food and great drink specials. Plus, you can always watch every game from NCAA hoops, Major League Baseball, NASCAR, and more. Looking for something to do? Stop by AJ's for open mic Mondays, sports trivia on Wednesdays, music bingo on Thursday, and live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bell's Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the world's leader in traditional golf apparel. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges.
And this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group.
We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates.
That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates.
We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi-Cola, this is our home.
Cheers, Pirate Nation.
I like the sound of that.
Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com, or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, now with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
March Madness is back, and your radio home for the NCAA tournament is Pirate Radio.
His second shot for the lead is around and in. 53-52, Abilene Christian. The Wildcats have beat Texas. And how about this one? 2018's Cinderella just got a repeat invite to the Sweet 16. The Loyola Chicago Ramblers have upset the #1 seed Illinois, 71-58.
From the first 4 to the final 4. Catch all the action right here on Pirate Radio, your radio home for the NCAA tournament.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 at 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios and coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville. 104.1 FM in Washington. We are on 1250 and 930 and online at pr927fm.com. You can watch the show on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube. We've got our great This is Pirate Radio videos there. We have this show, the Brian Bailey Show, and we're mixing in a little football with our baseball videos. You can see the Mike Houston after spring practice video on Pirate Radio TV as well. We'll have some of those comments coming up on today's edition of Pirate Radio Live as Mike Houston spoke with the media on Tuesday following a Pads Day. A lot of hitting going on. Pads were popping, and Mike Houston had a lot to say after that. So we'll talk some football on today's edition of PRL coming up in hour number 3, especially with former ECU tight end Bryce Williams. We'll get his thoughts on early spring football, hear what Mike Houston had to say, and break down Bryce's last place bracket in the Pirate Radio pool. Speaking of bracket talk, we put out on Facebook the fallout from Bracket Gate yesterday on the show. If you missed it, it's worth checking out. Late in hour number 2 and on into hour 3, Troy D writing Iona instead of Iowa, and he and Shirley went back and forth. It was a very entertaining portion of the show yesterday. We put out on Facebook and posted a picture of it. Should Troy get a point for correctly saying Iowa would beat Grand Canyon, even though he wrote Iona on his bracket, and he wrote Iona twice on his bracket? And we have a lot of comments on that, so we'll run through the comments. We'll do the tally, the yes or no. Should Troy get a point for that, and tally up the votes and see what they say. You can still vote if you'd like. Check out our Facebook page there. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles, get his thoughts on the NCAA tournament, ECU spring football, and more. He joins us at about 3:15. Later on in hour number 1, we'll talk to the head coach of the D.H. Conley Vikings, Nate Connor. Vikings coming off a win on Saturday. They're back at it Friday against CB Aycock, and we'll talk about that, talk about how the season has gone so far for Nate Connor and the D.H. Conley Vikings. At 4 o'clock, Mike Mullis will join us inside the Pirate Radio studios. We will talk all things baseball, a little golf, and NCAA with Mike Mullis as he'll join us on the program today. Also in hour 2, we'll talk about the Hornets. Big win against the Spurs on Monday, their first game without LaMelo Ball. They take on Houston tonight. What is the outlook on LaMelo? What is the outlook on the Hornets as far as making the playoffs in 2021? Spencer Percy from the Buzzbeat podcast will join us there to talk about that. And, of course, as I mentioned, Bryce Williams will open up the booty bag. All that coming up in hour 3 of today's show. We will see what's going on. We'll welcome back Chandler to the program. Boy, intern Tully picked a bad day to run the video yesterday. He was in between a shouting match between Shirley Rhodes and Troy D, which was pretty entertaining.
Yes, pretty scary.
Sorry you missed that, Chandler.
Yeah, I actually didn't miss it. I was able to check in on the show before my broadcast started at 6:40. So we were getting things set up in the broadcast booth, and I was like, let me see what's going on at Pirate Radio Live. And I turn it on, and there's just nothing but shouting going on, and my producer in the booth's like, what the hell's going on there? I'm like, that's where I work. That's my workplace right there. That's my
work environment. So, you called a Whiteville game. How'd they do?
63-12 was the final score there. So Whiteville cruising last night on a Tuesday night.
Do you have any Chandler Honeycutt highlights for us?
No, it was Wi-Fi was kind of wonky last night.
Okay.
My dad did record, screen record the broadcast, and I got home last night and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but like it's just very choppy." And the producer said that kind of happens every so often, not a lot, but so hopefully maybe they have another game this Saturday against St. Paul, so maybe I can have some calls for you on Monday's show. I had a lot last night.
Yeah.
Just unfortunately, it was very choppy. And
9 touchdowns, I guess?
Yeah.
It's a lot of touchdowns.
The very first play from scrimmage was a scoop and score on defense for the Wolfpack.
Who do you model your play-by-play after?
I think you asked me that like a week or two ago.
What was your answer?
Nobody. I mean, but you said what you told me to do was
a mix between the Titans guy,
and Eric Collins.
Oh yeah, touchdown, Wolfpack!
So you do that on the air?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. I'm not listening then. Chandler, good to have you back. Shirley, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. Are you? You said that kind of defensive.
No. I'm not defensive.
Your voice is getting really high.
No,
I'm all right.
I'm great.
No, I'm perfectly fine.
I came in this morning and there was still smoke from yesterday, like coming off her head. So.
No.
Oh, that was fun. Shirley, we'll go to your news desk momentarily and see what you have for us today. Quick recap. It did not go well for the Pirates last night in Chapel Hill.
No.
They lose 8-1 to North Carolina. Pirates tied it up in the top of the second inning on a Ben Newton, I believe, infield single, which made it 1-1. After that, it was all North Carolina as they win it 8-1 last night. ECU using a lot of pitchers, 2, 4, 6, 8 to be exact. And North Carolina only had to use 3 because Will Sandy goes 4 2/3 innings. Their starter did, and got a good relief appearance from Nick Pry, who gets the win for North Carolina last night. So 2 teams will meet next week in Clark LeClaire, and we hope there is a different outcome when the Pirates take on the Tar Heels.
Yeah, definitely not one of the better outings for ECU. They just couldn't seem to really put anything together offensively. They had a couple of times where they had runners at scoring position and they just couldn't get them home. And, North Carolina just hit a lot of long balls. I mean, there were a couple of home runs in that game and a couple of stolen bases that put guys in position to to score. And then, the Pirate pitching, they just seemed to have a beat on what we were doing as far as throwing the ball. And, it's just one of those nights. So you kind of regroup and get ready for a tough St. John's team that's going to come into Clark LeClaire Stadium for a 3-game series starting at 6:30 on Friday night.
Yeah, 3-game set with the Red Storm coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then next Tuesday it'll be the final midweek game of the season. North Carolina at Clark LeClaire Stadium coming up Tuesday, 6:30 next week.
And I hope that'll be a revenge game.
Yeah. It will be.
Is there any updates? I did see Stephen Igo tweet out earlier this week that there was some COVID issues with. I don't know if it was within the St. John's program,
but they didn't play their midweek game.
So I didn't know if there was any updates or anything concerning this weekend's series with St. John's. Apparently, it's still on. Haven't seen anything else other than Stephen Igo's tweet.
Good question. We will check in on that because if St. John's can't go, Cliff Godwin will try to schedule another team. We've been pretty fortunate, and we're knocking on wood, but just looking at the past, ECU's been able to get their games in this year, which has kind of been a under-the-radar story in a COVID year, and a very positive outcome thus far that they have been able to get all the games on the schedule played as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can always find pride in your team, but in this day and age, you can find pride in your team, staying healthy and not getting COVID. That means a lot about their discipline. And I think Cliff Godwin, ever since he's been here, has done a good job of, building a program, not just with success, but with a lot of discipline advantages. So hats off to the guys over there with the baseball program, especially Cliff Godwin, getting his players and I guess keeping them within a certain bubble. Hopefully that continues. Hopefully there will be no delays or bumps in the road down the road as the season continues.
Yes, I've seen this story. People keep sending it to me on social media. Washington football team owner Dan Snyder will gain almost complete control of the franchise after the NFL's finance committee clears the way for him to buy out his minority investors. There is still an investigation going on into the franchise about the sexual harassment allegations and all that. So that's still going on. But yes, folks, I did see the news. Dan Snyder is the owner and will be even more of the owner apparently moving forward. I don't know. Well, I'm still hoping that who's our guy? Bezos
for Amazon.
Yeah, I just hoping he Snyder gets enough pressure from this investigation, and Bezos ponies up the money, and we get a new owner.
Well, he's got plenty of money to pony up with.
Yes.
Do people think that you miss Washington football team news?
Yeah, I have to say this quite often. That I see it. I see what happens.
Yeah.
And I think it's more people like rubbing salt in my wound.
Yeah.
I don't think people are really like, Clip, I'm doing you a public service here.
Like, did you not see this? It's like, well, yeah, but it's like you said, it's just like kind of just toying with you.
Yeah, I see it. I see all the bad news that happens. Shirley, what's going on at the Shirley Rhodes News Desk?
Well, this just came down probably about maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. T.Y. Hilton has re-signed with the Colts for a $1 million, 1 year, $10 million deal. So that keeps him from going somewhere else. What are we doing here?
Doing the T.Y. celebration that he does when he scores a touchdown.
All right. And
where did he go to college?
T.Y. Hilton?
Florida Atlantic.
I thought he went to Carolina.
Florida International.
No, he didn't go to Carolina.
No, he went to, I believe, FIU.
Oh, Florida International.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right, carry on.
Anyway, so
who are you thinking of?
I don't know. I thought it was T.Y. Hilton. I don't know who it was that I was thinking of then.
Johnny Smith,
anyway,
new Patriots tight end, also went to Florida International.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry.
Okay. Joe Flacco signed with the Philadelphia Eagles to back up Jalen Hurts.
Why are you laughing?
Because we were joking about Joe Flacco last week.
Who are your quarterbacks? Laugh, boy.
Teddy Bridgewater, baby.
Who else?
Will Greer.
Okay.
Who's our quarterback?
Actually, there was a interesting note.
Would you rather have Teddy Bridgewater or Joe Flacco start? Teddy Bridgewater's the answer. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was going to get there. I don't know why I had to think about that. There was a video the other day of Will Greer working out with DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey, and there was no sign of Teddy Bridgewater.
Will Greer was working out with Christian McCaffrey
and DJ
Moore, and that is not a big deal. But in this case, you're going to read into it. I get it. I understand. All right. Anyway, Shirley,
that's all I got.
Who's the guy that played with Hakeem Nicks at North Carolina? That was Brandon Tate. I'm trying to figure out who you're thinking of.
I don't know
that has
who
a
I'm
name like T.Y. Hilton.
I don't know why I had it in my head that he went to Carolina. I really don't.
I'm trying to think of other.
T.J. Yates.
No, because he was a quarterback, wasn't he?
He's a quarterback.
Yeah, no, this was a receiver, but for some reason I'm thinking T.Y. Hilton, and I don't know why.
Okay. T.Y. Hilton back with the Colts. He'll be catching balls from Carson Wentz in 2021.
By the way, the Carolina Bills trend continues to roll on. F.A. Obata signs a 1-year deal with the Buffalo Bills. This is getting old. It's getting kind of weird.
I mean, we're beyond that point. It's clear that Brandon Beane's the guy in control, right?
He was our assistant GM and then took the job. And then Sean McDermott was our defensive coordinator when we went on that Super Bowl run in 2015. So maybe it's just all part of the plan. I don't know why F.A. Obata would be a part of the plan. I really liked him. I liked his story. He is from Britain, so his first career game with the Panthers against the Bengals, he had a sack and an interception. So a great story. The very next year we went to the UK and played. So congrats to F.A. Obata.
Tell you what, you're full of great stories today.
Cool, neat story.
I was reading this Bucks article, and my first thought was, how did they have all the money to do this? So they bring back, let's see, offensive tackle Donovan Smith, $31.8 million contract extension, 2-year, $10 million deal to bring back Ndamukong Suh. And it's like they brought back this great roster that they have. How do they have all the money to do it? I read down a little bit, and it says, the move helped the Bucks to create more room under the salary cap. So they're bringing back these players.
And it's helping them.
And it's helping them with money.
But now, didn't Tom Brady restructure his contract?
Sure, yeah. Wow. I guess they're all getting paid. They're all getting money, but the way they're working it, they're saving the team money to go out and continue. I love this. I wish my team would do more of this, re-signing our own guys rather than letting a guy walk into free agency. And I'll use Jamison Crowder. He's not a great player, but he's a good receiver. But like he walks into free agency, and then you bring in like Paul Richardson. They might have finally found a replacement this year with Curtis Samuel. But it's like you let these guys walk, and then you bring in guys who are worse or at best just as good as the player you let walk. It always bothers me.
Yeah, I've always been a guy, and that's what I love about college football. I mean, there is the transfer portal now, and it's becoming where it's kind of like a free agency deal with the portal. But the thing about, college football is, a guy comes in freshman year. Justin Hardy came in freshman year, and I knew I was going to see him for 4 years. With a guy like Curtis Samuel in Carolina, all year long I was sitting there thinking, will I see this guy again in the Panthers uniform next year? So, and I was wishing we would re-sign him. I'm like you, Clip. I really wish there was more of a trend of, making an effort to re-sign these guys and kind of keep the band together. But
there should be a rule, and I say this a lot, where teams in sports, NFL, there's no salary cap in baseball, but like NFL, NBA, and I think there is a rule like this in the NBA. We need it in the NFL where you can re-sign a guy that you drafted and pay him a lot of money, and it doesn't affect your salary cap as much as if you bring in a guy from the outside. So you get rewarded for good drafting. You get rewarded for keeping the same pieces together, which is what fans like, which is what coaches like. And if a player's winning and happy in his surroundings, the player wants more money. Well, the team that drafted him could give him more money, and it would not hurt against the cap as much. I wish there was a way for that to be possible in the NFL. So, anyway, Roger Goodell, if you're listening, let's implement that. I think that who says no to that? It's a great idea.
Yeah.
By me.
And maybe the re-signing of your own players, maybe the Buccaneers can be the start of this trend going forward for the National Football League.
And they're doing a lot of short-term deals, obviously. Gronk, Brady, and Ndamukong Suh. So it's not like they're building something for the future. They're building for the right now. But it is nice to see a team that is going to look the same on the field this year as they did back in 2020. And they're going to be really good. Did we talk about you weren't here yesterday. What do you think about Mike Davis going to the Falcons?
Man, I was very upset about that. I really liked the dark horse that he was for the Panthers this past year. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey couldn't stay healthy, but no need to fear. Mike Davis is here and had 8 touchdowns on the year for the Panthers. And he was a guy that was very shifty, but his size, he was able to run through tackles, and I think he was like maybe top 5 in the league with yards after contact when it comes to running back. So the Falcons, and I say the Falcons, they're in our division, which really sucks. They're getting a good running back and a good, reliable guy.
And good for him. He got his payday after a good year.
I think it was, a 2-year deal I think he got? This was a pay, he was auditioning this year for the Panthers. And for other teams as well, and really it paid off. He got his shot. He got his shot when Christian McCaffrey went down. And I don't think he ever got that shot when he was in Chicago and Seattle. So, and I remember telling Tony this off the air. I was like, he really is probably catching a lot of eyes from around the league. The way he's playing and is able to come in and produce, scores and be productive for a very slow and boring offense.
Susan, the Panthers fan, says, ask Chandler if he feels like we should still go after Deshaun Watson.
I mean, I said it earlier this week. I say abort mission. I mean,
not after 16 lawsuits.
Yeah. What if the Texans say, okay, the damaged goods at this point, give us this year's first rounder only, and we'll give you Watson now.
Okay.
You're in?
Yeah. But now the thing is I don't want to be in this mess.
I know that.
If this causes for the offering to go down to 1 first-round draft pick.
That's what I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
And then just take the risk, right? The risk reward.
We'll take the bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But right now, I mean, if they're still offering, or if they still want what we're giving or offering to give them, no.
Multiple first rounders, potential players.
And potential Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Nah, absolutely not.
Brooks asks, is trivia tonight at AJ's All March Madness? It is not all March Madness, but it is a lot of college basketball. There's some other questions, but it will be for this week and probably next week, a lot of NCAA tournament questions.
He should have went 2 weeks ago when Jody Jones hosted trivia.
My brain is still fried from that.
Speaking of college basketball, there was one note that I forgot to mention, and that is North Carolina's Day'Ron Sharp has declared for the NBA draft. He's going to forego the rest of his eligibility, or at least for now, is going to forego his eligibility and see what he can do in the NBA draft.
The former, Falcon, South Central Falcon, heading to the NBA. All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back. We will visit with the voice, Jeff Charles. He'll join us on the Fixed NC Live line. Got a number of topics to discuss with the voice this afternoon. We'll do that when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts is your hometown shop for gifts and fresh flowers. You can find unique items like Brewmate and apparel by Southern Couture, Simply Southern, and Bella Cotton. The Farmville Flower Basket also has items coming in daily for the spring and summer. Whether it's a gift or a flower arrangement for that special someone, you can find it at Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts. Give them a call today at 753-4217 or stop by their shop on Main Street in Farmville.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Your future is yours to create, and with the leadership development of Army ROTC, you're capable of taking command of it. Even in the midst of a pandemic, enrolling in Army ROTC prepares you to thrive as a full-time college student. Our specialized elective courses will equip you with the skills necessary to succeed in life, all while earning money for education. A strong future takes a strong force. Find out how to lead at goarmy.com/ECU. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson DAL at ecu.edu.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Sam Jones, and we're open and here to serve you with some of the best whole hog barbecue, chicken, turkey, ribs, and homemade sides every day for lunch and dinner. There are 3 easy ways to enjoy Sam Jones barbecue. Swing by our drive-thru window or try one of our 2 curbside takeout options by calling in your order at 689-6997 or ordering online at samjonesbbq.com. We love Eastern North Carolina, and we invite you to come by and enjoy some great tasting Sam Jones barbecue today.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in Eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
Hey, Troy, have you heard about The Place?
No, Jason. What place?
It's The Place. It's Washington's newest restaurant on the waterfront. The Place is located in downtown Washington in the Harbor District with waterfront seating in the back. We're open for bistro-style lunches Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 2 and elevated comfort-style dinners Thursday through Saturday 5 to 9. Plus Sundays, we have the best Southern brunch in town.
Man, that's awesome, Jason. The Place sounds like the place to be.
It is. We look forward to seeing you there. The Place in Washington, North Carolina.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. If you've got damage from wood rot, consider it fixed. How about damage from smoke or fire? Consider it also fixed. How about damage caused by water? Fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC, restore, renew, maintain. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, lots to get to on today's program. We'll talk about a little bit of everything right now as we visit with the voice, Jeff Charles. He joins us on the Fixed NC live line this afternoon. Jeff, thanks for your time. How you doing today?
Clip, I'm doing great. This is a good time of year, isn't it, for March Madness and college baseball and Major League Baseball just around the corner. It's really a good time to be a sports fan.
No doubt about it, Jeff. Coming up next on the show, we got Nate Connor. Get a little high school football talk going on. Just might as well throw that into the mix as well, as a lot is happening right now in the world of sports. Jeff, we watched the tournament for the upsets, for the little guy, the underdog. We've seen plenty of that in the 2021 NCAA tournament. Got a 15 seed playing in the Sweet 16, and a lot of unfamiliar names. Voice still playing basketball this time of year. It's been a lot of fun to follow. How much have you enjoyed it thus far?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too, Clip. It's a lot of fun to, as you mentioned, see the underdog get a chance to play in the Sweet 16. And usually, every year, there's maybe one team. This year, we've really got two Cinderella stories, I think. Oral Roberts, what a great story they are. And then Loyola, of course, another great story. It's good to see those two schools get in the Sweet 16. Of course, we know a lot about Loyola because they made the run a few years ago. And we know all about Sister Jean, now 101 years old, the good luck charm for the Ramblers. And they've had a great basketball tradition down through the years. It waned there for a while, but it's great to see them come back. And then Oral Roberts, oh my goodness, Cliff, what a great story they are. I texted our mutual friend, Bruce Howard, the other day, the voice of the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. I said, hey, Bruce, how does it feel to be the number 2 team in town? Because Oral Roberts, as most people know, they're located in Tulsa, just a few minutes, actually, a few miles from the Tulsa campus. And what a great story they are. They're a lot of fun to watch with that little guard and a 6'8" guy who's very athletic inside, and they can shoot it and do a lot of good things. And what a great story they are as well. So, we'll keep our eye on those teams, and of course on Houston. Houston has a very winnable game with Syracuse. Keep our fingers crossed with the Cougars and with Kelvin Sampson that they can make a run in the Sweet 16, get to the Elite 8, and also maybe to the Final Four. Clip, all year long we talked about Houston was a potential Final Four team, and they've certainly got an opportunity to do that. They have to win this next game, but it'll be interesting. Another team that I think, Clip, is very interesting to watch is USC. A little bit of a storyline there. Of course, they blew out Kansas by 34 points. But USC's head coach is Andy Enfield.
Yeah.
He's at Florida Gulf Coast and did such a wonderful job there. When he left to go to USC, then Joe Dooley went to Florida Gulf Coast. So Joe and Andy Enfield know each other well. And my goodness, he's done a great job with USC. So a lot of interesting storylines like there always are, and of course Gonzaga, they have to be the team to beat, there's no doubt. Until somebody beats them, they're the team to beat, they're the best team in the country, and we'll see if they can keep that run going.
Jeff Charles joining us. Fun to follow the underdogs. Jeff, an underdog about 20, 25 years in the making, is now a big dog, and that's Gonzaga. They have ran through their first 2 opponents, as has Baylor, so you still have some of the big boys in the mix. You mentioned Houston as a 2 seed. Michigan really impressed me the other night late in the game when they pulled away from LSU. So you still have some heavyweights out there. It makes for a nice mix of teams, but it still feels like to me it's Gonzaga's year and Mark Few's year to finally cut down the nets.
Well, I think so too, Clip. I mean, they have to be the odds-on favorite. I'll tell you what I like about Gonzaga is they're a basketball team. They're a little bit of a throwback. Now, they're very, very athletic, but they just play a great brand of team basketball, and I really enjoy watching that. Again, it looks to me like, a lot of teams that maybe played a number of years ago, some of the things that they do. But you see a lot of teams in college basketball that are very, very athletic. They can run and jump out of the gym, but, sometimes those guys are not great basketball players or great athletes, not necessarily great basketball players. But with Gonzaga, they've got enough athleticism on that team, but these guys are basketball players. I mean, they knock down shots, they hit open shots, they pass the ball extremely well, they find the open man, they play well on defense, and so they're a lot of fun to watch, and they are, even though they are a, quote, powerhouse these days, it's still fun to see a small school in Spokane, Washington, be this good on the national stage. They still are that team. They're not the big flagship university, Kansas, Michigan, Michigan State, North Carolina, Duke. They're not really who they are, even though now they're as good as those schools, or maybe this year even better. But still, it's a great story to see a school like that, a small school, way out west. If they were playing in the Eastern Time Zone, Cliff, as you well know, doing what they've done, their players would be more like household names, and we'd know a lot more about Mark Few and everything that he has done, a lot more about the school. But because they're tucked away in the Pacific Northwest, they're still a little bit of a mystery, even though they've had all these great teams over these years, and they've had this great success. But yeah, I would like to see them certainly have a shot at winning it all this year. I think they deserve it. I think Mark Few's a really good coach and a quality guy, runs a first-class program, and yeah, it would be fine with me if they'd make this run and go all the way and win the championship.
Jeff Charles talks some old NCAA tournament memories with Mac McCarthy on the Pirate Radio podcast. You can download it in Apple iTunes, check it out on SoundCloud, and we aired it the other night here on Pirate Radio, and it was fun reliving some of those old Mac McCarthy memories. Jeff, how about you as your long career in announcing, and you've called ECU conference championship football games and a lot of bowl games. How about NCAA tournament games, Jeff? With your previous stops, how many tournament games have you been able to call in your career?
Well, Cliff, I was at Virginia Tech, as you know. Most folks know that before I came to East Carolina in 1988, and the Hokies went to 2 NCAA tournaments when I was there. They went to regional in Hartford and played there, and they went to a regional also in Baton Rouge at the time and played in a regional there. That's when the star at Virginia Tech was Del Curry, and he had a really good supporting cast. Unfortunately, the Hokies were one and done in those tournaments. They lost to John Chaney and Temple in one of the tournament games, and they were really, really good at that time. And then the other game they lost to Villanova, and Roy Massimino's teams were really, really good in the mid-'80s. So I did have a chance to go to 2 regionals and call games in Baton Rouge and also in Hartford, but the Hokies came up on the short end on a couple of occasions, and I have had the opportunity also to do games in the NIT. Virginia Tech played in the NIT as well. Won some games in the NIT, never made that run to Madison Square Garden, but when I was doing University of Illinois games, Illinois went to the Final Four at Madison Square Garden, and believe it or not, there were 2 Big Ten teams in the Final Four that year, and the other one was Michigan. And Illinois actually played Michigan. They'd already played them twice during the regular season, but they played Michigan in the NIT. And I'll tell you what, Cliff, that was a lot of fun going to Madison Square Garden and broadcasting those games. It was just great fun. And then I will take it back. Virginia Tech did make a run in the NIT as well to Madison Square Garden one year that I was there as well and played South Carolina. And so, yeah, going to, even though it's the NIT, it's not the NCAA tournament, but going to Madison Square Garden for that Final Four in the NIT was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of interest in it. There were big crowds, and it's got such great tradition. I mean, I can remember being a kid, and as you guys know, most of you, that I grew up in Ohio around Dayton, and Dayton was so good back in the day, still are, but they used to, if they didn't go to the NCAA tournament, they would go to the NIT, and they would play at Madison Square Garden. I remember as a kid listening to those games and watching those games and knowing at the time what a great tournament that the NIT is. And it's still a great tournament. And then this crazy year that we've all gone through this year, who in the world, if you would have told somebody, Clip, 14 months ago that the NIT was going to be in Denton, Texas, at North Texas State University, they would have said you're absolutely crazy. And that's what, of course, we've seen this year. It just seems so surreal that that's going on down there, but that's the world we're living in, and hopefully next year we'll be back to some normalcy.
Visiting with the Voice, Jeff Charles, on the Fixed NC Live line. In fact, Voice NC State going to be in action coming up on Thursday night, taking on Colorado State in Frisco, Texas. It'll be Mississippi State and Richmond in Denton, Texas, as they're playing that thing down there. And also Memphis playing on Thursday night against Boise State. So the NIT kind of gets lost in the shuffle now. Although, Jeff, I know my granddad telling me old NIT stories, how that used to be a big deal before all the at-larges and everything came into play. The NIT was a prominent postseason tournament for college basketball teams.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Clip. Even if Dayton, like I mentioned, didn't make the NCAA tournament, I mean, it was a big deal back in the day when they would go to the NIT, and the NIT had great teams that were right there. And as you mentioned, the NCAA tournament used to be 32 teams. So, there were a lot of great basketball teams that didn't make the field for the NCAA, and they would go play in the NIT, and, you'd have a whole bunch of teams there with, terrific records that just didn't quite make the cut. But, it was really great. Now it's lost a little bit of its luster over the years because of the way the NCAA tournament has expanded. But back in the day, there were some great teams there, some great players. Again, the tradition is there, and anytime you can play in Madison Square Garden, I mean, that's just a magical place, one of the greatest venues in the world. And for the kids, the players on the teams and the coaches, to walk into Madison Square Garden and play on that floor, I mean, that's still today is a big deal, I think, for kids and for coaches in college basketball to go to the NIT and play those games. I know I enjoy watching the games when they're on television, especially once they get to the Final Four and you have those four teams. And usually I think they play on like Monday the two games, and then Wednesday they play the championship game. And again, it gets lost a little bit in the shuffle now, but it's still fun, and it's still the NIT, and it still has all that tradition.
Jeff, as you said, you still spend a lot of time in Big Ten country, and man, they flex their muscle the entire college basketball season. But now one man left standing, and that's Michigan right now, kind of carrying the flag for the Big Ten. You've also got Indiana looking for its next basketball coach, and that job does not hold the same prestige that it once did, but still a very popular job amongst college basketball. And I've read that they want to maybe go in-house, in-family, find somebody from the Hoosier family to take over as the next head coach at Indiana. But what's the Indiana job in 2021, Jeff? What does that mean for the landscape of college basketball, and how important is this hire for the Hoosiers?
It's important. That's a good question, Clip. Real good questions. And you're right. They're not the Bob Knight Indiana Hoosiers that they used to be, and they were almost invincible during those years, had the undefeated season and the great years and the national championships. And it's a little bit of a different world. I don't know if the location in Bloomington, Indiana hurts them a little bit in recruiting or not. When recruits go in there, they can see all the national championships and the banners hanging there, so that doesn't hurt them at all. But Bloomington, Indiana is isolated. In fact, I drove through there just 2 years ago. I hadn't been down that way in a long, long time. And that was kind of my feeling that, in today's world, it's a little bit different than it was when they had those terrific teams. And you can see on television the arena, Assembly Hall, and I broadcast games in there. It looks a little dated now. On TV, it looks very dated to me. So I think they probably have some issues with that as far as an upgrade is concerned. When you drive by there, you see the arena. The arena and the football stadium are like right next door to each other. They're a stone's throw apart. And the football stadium, if a lot of Pirate fans have been to Virginia Tech and been to Lane Stadium, that stadium in Blacksburg was built about the same time that Indiana built its stadium, and they look very much alike. Now, the Hokies have done some things to Lane Stadium and expanded it, so it looks a little different today. But when those two stadiums were built, Clip, they were like carbon copies of each other. And Indiana, until recently, and give Tom Allen a lot of credit. He's done a wonderful job there with their football program. But, my goodness, you go back and look, and it's a whole bunch of 2-10s and 1-11s and 3-9 kind of seasons for years. And then they have gotten better. So right now their football, is actually maybe a little bit better than their basketball. Archie Mills just didn't work out for him. So I can kind of see where they might want to go in-house. But it might be a little bit of a tougher sell now than it used to be when Bob Knight was there. Bloomington is in southern Indiana. There's not a whole lot down there. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half from Indianapolis. But it's in a relatively remote location. And it's maybe not just quite the same sell that it used to be. And you're in a league that's very difficult year in and year out. But if you ask my opinion, I mean, they can win again there and probably win big again if they hire the right coach. And so this is, as you mentioned, this is a big-time critical hire for Indiana basketball. They've got to get the right guy to come in there and rejuvenate the program and start winning some games if they're going to get back to even being close to where they used to be.
Jeff, to your football point, I think it was Dan Doggett. I heard him bragging about how, Indiana not in the field of 68, Michigan still alive, but bragging about how Indiana has a better football program than Michigan now. And it's we're definitely living in a different world when you hear that. And it's true, at least currently, with what Allen has done there with the Hoosier football program. Visiting with the voice, Jeff Charles. Speaking of football, Jeff, the pads were popping yesterday as ECU put on the pad. Spring football in week 2 right now, Jeff, as Mike Houston on the field with his team and getting set for the 2021 season. And, man, just great to have spring football after missing out on it last year. But the Pirates out on the field right now, voice, to give us something else to talk about and look forward to right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, Clip, we talked about it last year when the Pirates lost the entire spring football practice like everybody around the country did. But remember, before COVID closed everything down, we talked about how important last year's spring ball was going to be.
Right.
Because, number one, you brought in a new defensive coordinator who was going to change everything. And so the kids really needed every rep they could get. And then you were still in the development stage with so many other players. And we kept saying, well, man, this is a big deal, this spring practice coming up. There are so many questions to answer, and these guys need a lot of practice time. And then, of course, it got shut down, and that did not help last year's season one bit. So it's good to see them out there again. There are question marks with this team, like every team in the country this time of year, and hopefully some of these question marks will come out on the positive side. But, you look at this team, Clip, and going into it, you had hoped that the defense is going to be better. I mean, they showed flashes last year of being better, and they had to force feed a lot of kids, especially on that defensive line, who, in a perfect world and a more established program, wouldn't have gotten on the field last year. They'd have probably been, another year or two of just getting acclimated to college football and being reserves. But they had to step up and play last year. So you would hope that certainly will give them an edge coming in to this year. They've got issues that they have to address defensively, but the good news is the defensive coordinator has been there now. This is his second year, and I really like him. He came in with a lot of enthusiasm last year, and so they're going to play aggressively. So that's going to be a good thing. And then offensively, I think the biggest question going into this year, Clip, is probably at the offensive tackle positions. I think they're going to be good enough at the center position and the guards. The inside part of the offensive line should have has a little more experience, and they should be able to hold up. But they're going to have to find a couple of really good tackles. And then the Blake Prohl loss is a big loss with the receiving corps. He was just so consistent and had the good hands and was faster than what people thought that he was, and he could break one every now and then. Just such a great kid, such a good guy to have in your program. He was a leader, and so they're going to miss him. But I do think they have enough receivers in the stable that they will be okay there. And then, of course, we're really excited about the two running backs coming back as well. Harris and Mitchell had such fine years last year, and they'll find another running back or two to back those guys up. But Holton, it's a big year, I think, for Holton, Clip. He has shown flashes of being terrific. With a better supporting cast, hopefully this year he can take his game up another notch, and I know we would all like to see him run the ball a little bit more because he's such an effective runner, but last year with no experience behind him, they really couldn't throw him out there to run too much. So I think that's part of Holton's game, and hopefully this year he'll run the ball a little bit more, and they can get Garcia ready as a second-string quarterback and not totally panic if Holton goes down that they don't have anybody behind him. So this is a very big spring also for Mason Garcia, I think, Clip. He needs to continue to improve, and at some point he needs to get on the field and play some, and we'll just see how that works out.
Jeff Charles joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, it is Wednesday. That means for me, tonight's sports trivia at AJ's. You got the Hornets and the Rockets. I'll be tuned into that. And for Jeff Charles, it might mean a little wrestling with AEW Dynamite. I had a lot of people, Jeff, they're trying to get me into Dynamite. You've talked about it when I run into you here at the office, and I know you're a Britt Baker fan. A lot of people sent me pictures of her bloody face last week, Jeff, on AEW Dynamite. So you're going to catch some wrestling tonight, voice?
I probably will. I find myself flipping back and forth, Clip, home. But yeah, poor Britt Baker. She ended up a bloody mess, and so did her opponent, Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa, okay.
Yeah, they had one of the most violent women's matches you'll ever see. I mean, they were throwing chairs and ladders at each other and diving into tables. I mean, it was intense. And a lot of people have been talking about it. They really hyped that thing up last week and said what a great women's match it's going to be, and I think it really did live up to the hype. It really was. And you mentioned Dr. Britt Baker, and she really is a doctor. I don't know if you knew that or not, Clip, but she is a dentist in Orlando. And she's a very well-educated young lady and is really a terrific athlete. And she's kind of the face right now, I would say, of the women's division in AEW. So, yeah, every week they've got something cooked up, and they're having some really good shows. And for the older people who remember Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake Roberts and all of those guys from yesteryear, they have roles now in AEW. They're managers or they're trainers. I think their real role is they train these young wrestlers in Jacksonville, Florida, where AEW is headquartered, and they're down there a lot in the training center working with this young talent, and they've got some terrific young talent in this division. So I don't know if they'll give Vince McMahon a run with WWE or not,
right?
But I'll tell you what, I think they're stealing some viewers from him. They're going head-to-head with him on television on Wednesday nights, and the ratings have been really good for AEW, and it's a little bit of a different show than what WWE has put on in recent years. So I think a lot of people find it refreshing.
It looks like it's here to stay, Jeff. Not only has it survived, but it survived during a pandemic. So it looks like it's going to be around and at least give wrestling fans another option outside of the WWE. Voice, always enjoy our Wednesday chats. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll track you down next week and talk more sports with you.
You're very welcome, Cliff. Have a good one.
Thank you. There is the voice, Jeff Charles, joining us today on the Fixed NC Live line, talking a little ECU football and March Madness. Unfortunately, the Pirates not part of March Madness this year, just as they haven't been since 1993. And I see that as we wrap up that interview with the voice, I'll have to remember to ask him about this next week, because it just came out, according to Stephen Igo, that Batumba Baruti, ECU Ford, has entered the transfer portal. So he is the second name on the list, I believe, joining Edra Luster as Pirates, who has entered the portal. And if I had to put money on it, I would say he will not be the last player from this year's team to enter the transfer portal. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk a little high school football with Nate Connor, D.H. Conley Vikings head football coach. He'll join us on the other side of this timeout. We're back with you on Pirate Radio Live after this.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Dr. Jones, you guys can help people with any aches or pains.
Yep, we sure can. As it's getting warmer, we know more people are outside, wanting to be more active, and we know spring sports are in play as well. And so if you've got a knee or ankle injury, whether it's just a strain or a sprain, we've got specialists there to treat the weekend warrior and the athlete. For more information, visit us online at kptonline.com or call us at 364-2806.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
In studio with Bono, also known as Seth Brown to his friends and family. Why do you like F3?
I learned early on in my life that I'm not defined by who I am or I'm type 1 diabetic. I'm not defined as a diabetic. I'm defined by who I hang out with, how hard I push myself, and who I want to become. And F3 helps me do those things. It certainly helps me push myself further than I ever would by myself.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
What the heck was that?
There goes Chuck from Naughty Dog again, so pumped about the awesome things at Naughty Dog, he runs around town screaming with excitement. Naughty Dog releases 2 to 3 beers every month, has food trucks every Friday and Saturday, wine specials every Wednesday, plenty of indoor and outdoor space to enjoy, beers to go with curbside pickup, and just launched the new Koozie Club. Be sure to ask about that on your next visit. Naughty Dog Brewing Company on Main Street in downtown Winterville, and be sure to follow Naughty Dog on Facebook and Instagram.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Otavola Market Cafe. Otavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Otavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Otavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Otavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Otavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OtavolaMarket.com. Otavola, pirates supporting pirates.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2020 Buick Enclave and save up to $11,000 off. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Have you heard the news? American Airlines is back and has resumed service to Pitt Greenville Airport. Reservations are available now at AA.com. Whether you're flying for business or for pleasure, enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport to get you where you're going and back home again safely. For your next trip, remember American Airlines is back at PGV, and you can book today at AA.com. Pitt Greenville Airport, where the Pirates fly. And Clip, as we head back into the show, we do have one update on a story that you mentioned a couple of minutes ago. Stephen Igo just tweeted out that there is a correction on the report that you made There is a Jonathan Baruti from ECU, as in East Central University, that has entered the portal. No Batumba Baruti from East Carolina in the portal for now.
Wow. How about that? Who knew there was more than one Baruti?
Who knew there was more than one ECU other than Ecuador?
Baruti Tootie. So East Central's Jonathan Baruti is in the portal for anybody interested. Maybe we go after him and have the Baruti Bros on the team next year. I don't know.
I'm down for it.
All right, Batoma Baruti, still a Pirate as of right now. We shall see what happens with that. All right, let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line and visit with the head football coach of the D.H. Conley Vikings. He is Nate Connor joining us. Nate, welcome back to the program. How you doing?
Good, Clip. Good to be on here again, man, and always good to be talking to you.
Yes, sir. We appreciate your time. And as I said there, Friday night football, that's going to feel good, right? After the schedule you've been on here of late. Lost to the rival Rose Rampants on a Friday, turned around, lost a heartbreaker to New Bern on a Tuesday, but back in the win column with a big win over Washington on a Saturday. So, with all that in the past now, are you able to hopefully try to get back on a normal schedule? Does it feel a little more normal for you? Is anything normal right now for you?
Well, I don't think anything is normal, and I think you always got to be ready for the unpredictable right now. But it was nice to get in a normal Monday for the most part. We did have to be smart with, that would be like a Sunday on a typical week. We want to make sure they rested their bodies up coming off of 3 games in 8 days. And then yesterday out on the practice field on Tuesday was like a normal Tuesday for us when we got after it, and I thought it was a great day and excited to play on a Friday night. That's a special night, and we're excited to get Friday.
Coach, how big was it for you and the guys to come back and get a win after 2 straight losses, a 14-7 victory over Washington? And what does that say about your team? They're able to bounce back after some adversity.
Yeah, I was really proud of them for that. I thought they were resilient the whole time. We had some disappointing losses both games. I thought we played well in both those football games, and it just didn't go our way, and the other team made a few more plays than we did. But I was a little worried going into the game, honestly, and see how were they going to handle if we got down or they we had some things not go our way and how they were going to handle that. And I thought they figured out a way to win again and were played hard. It was a great football game, and I'm really proud of how they came out of it.
Coach, 3 of the 4 games this year, the defense has pitched a shutout. The defense allowed 16 and then 7 last week against Washington. How about the defensive effort for your guys so far this season?
They're playing great. I thought they played great in all 4 games. Again, we've had some spots where I think some teams have made some plays. Maybe fatigue has set in. I thought we were in position. We didn't necessarily capitalize, but we made some plays, and they've bent a little bit, but they haven't broken. They've given up some drives, but they've been staying strong in the red zone. I think they've done a fantastic job. What I'm proud of after that 3-week scheme is we saw almost 3 different offenses, and I thought they handled each scheme, each different time in that short time period really well, knowing what they were supposed to do, and I was very pleased with that.
Coach, is it kind of strange that you're still kind of figuring things out? You're seeing who to put in what spots and learning about your team as you go along, and at the same time you're over halfway done with the season. Like you're coming down the home stretch. Is that kind of an odd feeling as you play this shortened season?
Yeah, that is. That's what's probably disappointing about this the most, because I think we're finding out. We always love to play non-conference and figure out who we are as we get into our conference schedule and move pieces around and get that right mix so everything can click at the right time. And I think it's starting to get that way. And I think we're starting to find spots. We've got some guys getting healthy in some certain spots. And, then you want to come and you want to keep building off of that and see what this team is capable of getting to. And I think I'm excited by where the progress we're making is and where we're growing, but the challenge is we only got 3 games left in the regular season, so we got to be ready to go right now.
And unfortunately, seniors on this team, they're playing for the last time. For your returners, it's almost, ECU's participating in spring football practice to get ready for the fall. You're playing a season, and we'll have another season ready for the fall. So for the returners, this could end up being a good thing, right, Coach, to kind of get them prepared for later on in 2021.
Well, I think it's huge in that aspect. I think when you take a kid that's maybe a sophomore that's played varsity football this year, who had a year to continue to develop their body in the weight room and come back, I think they're going to be much further along advanced for a normal junior in that sense. Now, there's probably, they're not quite playing 11 games, but That is, and that was one thing we were talking about with our coaches. We've always wanted spring football where we can be physical and implement some of those things, and we talked about that with our younger guys especially. Hey, let's make sure, yes, we want to win our JV football games, but let's make sure we're taking advantage of this time to focus on those fundamentals, be physical with contact, and do that, and still be ready to play our football games so we can develop them for this coming fall, and use that as that opportunity. But we also got to be ready to play right now, and you want to maximize it for your seniors right now.
Speaking of development, Coach, how is your quarterback Bryce Jackson coming along through these first 4 games, and what are your expectations for him the remainder of the way?
I've been so impressed with his toughness so far. I think it's the most important trait of a quarterback is to be tough physically and mentally, and I thought he's handled that great. He's had some great moments. And then he's had some moments he'd like to have back that he's frustrated with that haven't been the best. I think it's all part of maturing and growing part of his process at that position. And I think he's steadily improved every week when we go back and we watch his fundamentals and his technique. I mean, he's come so far, and I'm excited about these next 3 games. He's one of those guys you hope you get more and more games with and more and more opportunities to see where he can grow and then be ready to come have a strong senior year. So, we want to be better as always, and he's his toughest critic, and he wants to be the best he can be, and I've been very pleased with how he's handled that, and I'm just excited for the opportunity to continue to grow with him.
The Vikings coming off a road win, back on the road this Friday night, 6:30. You can hear it right here on Pirate Radio, taking on CB Aycock. Coach, what do you know about your opponent coming up?
Coach Brooks always does a fantastic job with those guys, especially offensively. They always have some weapons. They're always dynamic. I see a lot of guys at the skill positions that can make big plays, big explosive plays. They got a big physical running back, which they typically do, who can run and cut. And they got a senior quarterback coming back that's dangerous. I think he's very comfortable in the offense and kind of thinks the way Coach Brooks thinks. That's the way he's molded them. So I think they're dangerous. I think they've got some spots where they've had some tough breaks not go their way, and they've played some tough battles, but I think they're a good football team that we have to be ready to play for on Friday, and I think we're going to get their best. I think they want that 3A spot. They want to compete there, and they got some big 3A games still coming up, and I think they're going to be ready to play this game.
Coach, in our previous conversation, you mentioned, how different it is to play on a Friday night and then the next day it's ECU baseball instead of ECU football. I was at Clark LeClaire on Saturday. I was watching the NCAA tournament while I was at Clark LeClaire, and then I jump in my car after the game and I'm listening to Conley football. I got football, basketball, baseball going on at the same time. Definitely weird, but also pretty awesome to have all that stuff going on at once.
For a sports fan, it's really cool right now the way the NCAA tournament's going, and you got the Pirates playing well. The Braves are about to start off in the regular season, and it's definitely different. But that's what's kind of weird to me. This is my kind of time of year where we're stepping away from the game a little bit. You're doing stuff in the weight room hard, and then you get to go out and enjoy some Pirate baseball on the weekend. And unfortunately, I haven't got a chance to go do that, but I'm enjoying following them still.
Couple of home games left to go for you, Coach. With the restrictions continuing to ease off a little bit and more fans being allowed, what does that mean for Conley football and for people that haven't been able to go? Do you think they'll be able to go to these final couple of games, Nate?
I do. I think it's getting better and better, and hopefully we're going to have some more good news. I think people have handled it great, the games we've had, and hopefully, with the restrictions we have right now, I think there'll be tickets available, and our atmosphere is always so great on Friday nights, and that'll be fun the next 2 weeks to get to play at home. So hopefully we get to have some more fans in there, but we're very pleased with the ones we've gotten so far, and I hope everybody will take the opportunity to come out and see our boys play. It means a lot to them, and those people are in the stands.
Nate Connor joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Coach, good luck this Friday. We'll talk to you again soon, and go Vikings. Appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks a lot, Cliff, and always go Vikings.
All right, there is Nate Connor joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. I'm not an impartial observer when it comes to Conley football. I'm a Viking. I had my Rose weekend due to my lost bet with Scooter Rogers, but now I'm back fully on the Viking train. They're looking to make it 2 in a row. We got Conley football Friday night right here on Pirate Radio. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Hour 2 of the show. We got Mike Mullis inside the Pirate Radio studios. He's in a good mood. We're watching golf. We'll talk some baseball, golf, brackets, and more with Mully when we return on Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Hey Birdland, as we welcome fans back to Oriole Park this season, we've set up some game day health and safety policies to keep everyone safe. At Oriole Park, this includes limited capacity pod seating, cashless transactions, mask mandates, and other policies. Get game day ready by purchasing tickets online for easy and contactless entry into the ballpark. Your energy fuels Birdland, and we're excited to welcome you back. View our complete list of game day health and safety protocols at Orioles.com/welcome back.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
They say nothing in life is free. Well, we're here to tell you they're wrong. Because when you switch to US Cellular, you can get the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. That's right, the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G has launched and you can get it for free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular. Terms and conditions apply. See store or uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Select Bank and Trust. Banking is banking until the service is not the same. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? Try Select Bank and Trust. Bank local. Bank select. SelectBank.com. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Get educated and make prudent decisions about your financial future. Contact David Dom at Carolina Wealth Management today at 439-1344 for a free consultation. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Golf going on because it is a match play event, and Mike Mullis joins us to talk a little golf, a little baseball. We'll talk some hoops as well. Mully, good to see you. How you doing?
You too, bud. Everything's good.
Everything is good. Good to hear. Mully surely is the perfect guy to bring in on this Troy D tournament debacle.
Don't ask me. I've already made my answer. No, you cannot protect against stupidity.
Thank you.
Troy writing Iona when clearly he meant Iowa. You would not give him a point for that?
No.
Okay.
No.
You want to run through the votes, Shirley, real quick?
I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
Chandler, can you or Shirley write this down? The yes and no. Just make one side for yes, one side for no.
I can do that right now. I got a Post-it note.
Let's see what the Facebook audience said. So if you're just tuning in, you don't know what we're talking about. On the bracket, Iowa versus Grand Canyon. Troy D selects
Iona.
He wrote Iona.
So that's who he selected.
He wrote it twice.
He had them advancing to the next game, too.
Correct. He had Iona versus Kansas in the next round. So
maybe he was predicting some kind of crazy COVID wrinkle there.
Perhaps. Although he did have VCU playing Iona, VCU had the COVID issues.
Let me tell you something. If somehow, in some freak anomaly, that would have worked out, the world would have never heard the end of it.
You're right about that.
There would be a massive rip in the time-space continuum.
Troystodamus.
Yeah.
You would never leave it down.
I thought you were saying something else there. Troystodamus. Okay.
You can enunciate that how you want to.
All right. So we showed a picture of it.
It's two little butt cheeks.
I will say, that's what a W is, right?
It's two little butt cheeks.
A W is two little butt cheeks, Molly. We learned that yesterday.
Yes. A lowercase W.
I thought Shirley posted this the way it was worded, but I can clearly see it was published by Glenn Griffin since I'm on the Pirate Radio account.
Correct.
It says, as discussed on PRL yesterday, should Troy D be given credit for his Iowa picks in the office bracket pool, even though he wrote Iona not once but twice on his sheet? All right, Doug says a vote for yes. Since there's no Iona in that bracket, he clearly meant Iowa. Doug is saying yes. Alan says no, so 1-1. Jay says Troy gets the point. It's a bracket, not a spelling bee. Interesting. And he went on to write a lot. So he says...
Look, I can't even see that, but is that J last name S?
Yes.
Yeah. Come on, Searlsy.
All right. Troy does not get a vote, even though he chimed in. Ann says yep. Randy says yes. Jeff says yes. So there's a long run of yeses there. Cameron, I tend to agree with this one. His entire sheet should be disqualified for writing ver instead of UVA. That is a good point. Who writes ver for Virginia?
Nobody.
VIR.
Nobody.
Ver. Yeah, like, of course, we all call
Welcome to the tournament, Ver Cavaliers.
We all call the Cavaliers Ver. Yeah, it's commonplace.
Yes, of course.
All right, so that's a no from Cameron. Kenny says yes. Chad says no, and points out the N in Iona that he wrote looks just like the N in Kansas, where Troy is claiming it's just a sloppy W. There's no chance.
It's two little butt cheeks.
Thank you, Shirley. So Chad says no. Al says nope. Brooks says no. Alan Thomas says no. Details matter, he says. Where are we at? We're pretty even now, right?
We're at 6 apiece.
Mark says yes. Suzanne says no. Billy Ray says no.
Billy Ray.
His profile picture is the Chase Elliott number 9. All right. I like it.
Okay.
Elton says no. And put up we love our motivational quotes around here, right, Shirley?
Of course.
Put up a picture of it says, winners actually do sweat the small stuff because they know that getting the details right is the difference between success and failure. Wow.
Aha!
Not only did he say no, he really rubbed salt in the wound there.
Woo! I like it.
Lewis says, we aren't here to judge intent. So that would be a no.
That would be a no.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. Melissa says, once is a mistake. But twice, nope, no credit. That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
He wrote it twice, so she's a no. Matt Hager goes partial credit. Now, how would you do that?
Yeah,
a 0.5?
Yeah, throw his out.
All right, Matt. Cashel says no. Are we allowing her vote? She's Team Shirley.
Yeah, let's throw her vote out.
We're throwing Shirley's vote out. She votes no.
Yeah, because I did. I said I vote no.
Bobby votes no. Nancy votes no. The no's win. What was the final total?
Well, the no's show up as 13. The yeses at 7, which means yes. You do not get a point, Troy Dreyfus.
Now, Troy will be here Thursday at 5 to dispute this further.
Look,
I don't care.
I think what you have here is a Freudian slip by Troy just because he likes to say, I own a, and you fill in the blank. I own a, fill in the blank, whatever's after. Right, I own a. Anything that relates to I and Ona as it relates to Mr. Dreyfus, he's happy to share with you. So I think...
A new wrinkle there.
Yeah, I think it's just a Freudian slip, but he does not get credit.
Well, here's a Freudian slip for you.
A Floridian
slip. Here's a Freudian slip for you. Troy Dreyfus, I own you because you ain't getting a point.
Okay.
All right.
Tell you who doesn't need a point, Mully. That's your guy, Clip Brock.
Are you on a rock? Are you on a rock? Hey, look, Ellerby sent me saying, hey, don't forget to get by and fill out your bracket. I didn't fill out a single bracket this year. I just was kind of numb to it.
Did you watch games?
I have.
You watched a little bit of one game on Sunday.
I get excited about the upsets, if I see that's going on, but I just hadn't been super fired up this year. I think it's such a foregone conclusion that nobody's better than Gonzaga.
But isn't that fun that it's Gonzaga and you're not saying nobody's better than North Carolina or Duke or Kansas?
And it's got nothing to do with the Blue Bloods not being in it, my lack of interest. I just have.
You have no interest in seeing Mark Few win it for the first time? Or
And I'll watch the championship game, gets to the Final Four. Maybe I'll tune in a little bit closer. But and you know this. I mean, years of us going into this banner about. I'm just not a huge basketball guy. I will keep up with it on the peripheral, and I'll kind of know what's going on. But I'm not a.
Even though you were high school teammates.
Yeah, here we go.
Junior Burroughs.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people have really kind of. Not paid as much attention to it due to the changes that they made for this year's tournament because of the days. Like for me, I was confused of when it started, when the games were on, because they kind of shifted some of the game times and whatnot instead of the traditional format that they've always had. And so I've lost sight of it in some days.
I bet Mully didn't watch anything on Monday.
The answer of when it's on is the minute it started. It's been on like nonstop, and I did.
Well, I did like Monday. I didn't realize the game. Yeah,
we had it on in the office. We didn't have the volume on. I mean, I'll look up and go, oh look, there's Sister Mary or whatever from the Chicago team. I mean, little
Sister
stuff
Jean.
like Jean.
He
whatever.
knows her name,
but
how are you going to disparage Sister Jean on?
No. Sister Christian. What? That was a good song.
Motorin.
So I mean, I've not locked in. and it could be partly is I do enjoy the fans in these, so that part of the atmosphere is lost. Plus, I can't help but sit there and look at it and go, why are the coaches wearing masks when they've been through all the same protocols the players? Why are the coaches wearing it? And that drives me crazy.
Yeah. You got a good point. I mean, why are they social distancing so far when they have to huddle up?
Right, they're like face to face on the floor, and that stuff to me, like there's a lot of common sense checked at the door, and I don't even. It's like, you know what?
It's not about safety. That's the point. It's about perception,
public perception. Yeah, 100%. So anyway, I will get a little more. I'll be curious to see how the 215s do going forward. I'll be curious to see how some of the lower seeds do, but. I think it goes right back to the fact that these, there is a distinct advantage in having kids that have been in your program for an extended period of time over the one and done programs.
I was wondering how Troy would spin this.
Of course he would spin
I gotta say, I tend to agree with him. Surely I should have an impartial vote counter. He said, can Shirley Rhodes really be trusted with the vote count?
Yes.
It's a blowout.
But he's got a point. We're going to have to have an impartial vote counter moving forward.
I don't think that can't be done in Pitt County then.
We're gonna like when you have to move a trial.
No, so he wants an impartial vote counter that he picks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, did you hear him yesterday when Shirley said, "Let's see what the people on Facebook are saying"? He said, "Those people aren't impartial." No, and I said, "Well, everybody right now is agreeing with you." And he said, "Yeah, we'll count
people
those.
Are great.
We'll count
those.
those. I love
awesome.
those. Those are my people. I love those.
Right.
People.
He's going to have Bryce and Tyler come in and count the vote.
I don't know if that's a good idea either. All right, Mully. Last night, ECU loses to North Carolina 8-1, and I got two sides to the coin here. And I'm going to be a bit hypocritical, although I do lean one way more than the other. I saw a lot of can't win the big game. I thought this was our most complete team. We stink, which is complete overreaction. However, on the other side of that, we've seen how narrow it is, the margin is, to host a super regional, to be a national seed. And ECU is not going to have many opportunities at all to pick up quality wins the rest of the year, because outside of North Carolina next week, it's all conference play. You don't want to be looking back saying, man, we could have, should have won that, and it would have helped our national seeding, our overall, our RPI, whatever. Of course, I'm leaning to the side of it's ridiculous to overreact to one game, but when you look back on it, you're going to wish you had won this game, because it is your last real RPI shot you have the rest of the year. Your thoughts?
I'm kind of numb to everything you just said. And here's why I say that. There's no need to play for RPI. They wanted to beat Carolina because they wanted to. It wouldn't have mattered who they played. They want to win that baseball game, right? I mean, that's what they do. Yeah. That's what you can't be concerned about the RPI right now. I get it. It's great to host. It's great to be in a position to host a super. But that's part of the problem with how we perceive athletics. Let last night be painful because it was a loss. Mm-hmm. Not drag in the RPI that may or may not. Carolina may not win another game all year. Do we think they will? Yeah, sure. Where are they going to finish in ACC? I don't know. They play a very good schedule. They've played a very good schedule to this point. They may have been more prepared last night. It just is what it is. I tell you what I found to be interesting, and this is so typical with fans, and hence the fanatics that where the fans come from. The number of people that are just start belling water when the boat's not sinking.
Oh, I'm with you there. Absolutely,
it's all okay. Yeah. I mean, it's the bottom line is East Carolina needs to take care of business this weekend. East Carolina needs to take care of business in the conference. Look, 4 games at a weekend is going to be a different deal. I mean, any sweep that takes place in the conference, a 4-game, 36-inning minimum affair that's a grind. And to do that every week, there's a lot that has to happen. The RPI, that's kind of like a kid coming in and you go, gosh, I wish I would have thrown 96 instead of 92. I could have been drafted higher. There's nothing you can do about the draft. Go and play the games and let it chips fall where they may.
Okay.
And I hear, look, again, I've had people literally go, man, why can't we win midweek? I mean, you know what? You don't have to worry about it, but one more time. There's one more midweek game.
And they've beaten Duke midweek.
Correct.
And they've won midweek.
Listen, UNC Wilmington's a quality club. North Carolina's a quality club. Old Dominion's a quality club. It's not that, and if you look around the country, your top 10 doesn't always, it's not a clean run.
I talked about it with Aaron Fitt yesterday and asked him, is it normal to see a top 10 this time of year where everybody has at least 3 losses? Some teams have 4 and 5 losses.
Sure.
And he said part of that is due to, the ACC jumped into conference play early. And there's not as much cupcake action going on across the country.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, you got to look at these schedules and expect this to happen. If you look at the weekend series that Carolina's had as opposed to the weekend series that East Carolina's had, I mean, they swept Clemson. They took 2 from Virginia Tech at their place. They played Boston College. The teams we played have been good, gritty, hardcore, competitive teams, but there is a difference there. Playing that competition gets you a little more ready for a game like Wednesday night. It just is what it is. Things happen. I think that Carolina pitched way better than they thought they would pitch. It's just one of those things. I think what's got to happen is, going into the season, the calling card for East Carolina baseball is going to be pitching and defense. But both have not been to where where that staff over there would want them consistently, and they just got to figure these things out. It's early. Again, be a fan or don't be a fan, but there's no need to bring the rest of the world down when your team's number 8 in the country.
Mike Mullis joining us. Mully, Major League Baseball begins next Thursday.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Braves and Phillies next Thursday. Okay. I just saw this headline and want to ask you about it as a former player and coach. Major League Baseball will attempt to crack down, and they have warned teams about foreign substances.
I saw that
being put on baseballs.
You see how they're going to judge it.
They will inspect the balls taken out of play, analyze spin rate data. You say data or data?
Either.
And increase monitoring of dugouts and clubhouses. So they're going to have like cameras and binoculars and. What? Any thoughts on this?
It's ridiculous.
What do you? Is it cheating? I guess it is cheating. Do you care if a guy's got a little Vaseline or a little something?
I mean, I think let's be reasonable. To take a true foreign Vaseline to the mound's probably
like you got it on your hat or whatever,
right, or chapstick, or guys lick their fingers. You can't stand on the mound and lick. You got that stuff. Guys sweat. They'll wipe their arm. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's natural, though.
Correct. And that's my point. Is how are you going to prevent all that?
Yeah, true.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the number of baseballs that get taken out of play in a major league game, those you're going to have to doctor it.
Or by the millions, right?
Right.
I mean, that's like every pitch.
Right. That's part of the reason why. I just think it's much ado about nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you wanted to go back to statements that we made before, I guess this is another way to bolster offense. Hey, we need these runs.
We
need these runs. Yeah. So right. So let's. I don't know, man. It's funny. Baseball is getting to the point where they'll do something or say they're going to do something just for the sake of saying they're going to do something.
And we won't see any.
And I think it's amazing that they're going to use technology. So if a dude's got it figured out, and that night, maybe his spin rate's up or whatever. So wait a minute. He's got to be cheating.
I can't wait till they tell Trevor Bauer his spin rate's too high.
Please.
He's going to melt down.
Please. I mean, they're already on him about how far his shirt's unbuttoned. I mean, so it's comical, but it's I saw that too, and I was like, this is, again, the fact that they're going to use technology as the benchmark. You've got seasoned umpires, seasoned guys in both dugouts, major league players, and you're going to go look at the StatCaster?
Right.
Come on.
And as a former player and coach, Mully, you've had to have played with guys that were bending the rules a little bit, one way or the other, because everybody's doing it. And when I say everybody, not every single player, but somebody from every team was taking steroids back in the steroid era. What about when you were playing? How did guys kind of cut corners when they played?
Man, I know what happened. I don't know if I kind of lived in my little world and was worried about me.
You were a catcher, right?
Yeah.
So you knew if your pitcher was doing something.
Like what kills me is you'll watch a game where a guy may bounce a breaking ball, and the catcher will pick that ball up and give it. Like I'm talking about amateur ball where you don't have limitless baseballs, and they'll hand it to the umpire, and you're like, whoa, no, throw that ball back to the pitcher. Let him learn how to pitch with a scuff on it. It's going to add a little something to it, right?
Yeah.
But the guys see the pro guys do it, so so they pick the ball up and so they and you go no, put that ball back back in play. But there's always been guys that again will take advantage of licking their fingers. It's not cheating. For that matter, then the rosin bag's cheating. Well, no, it's just trying to dry their hand. Well,
it's an added substance.
It's an added substance, right?
Who wants a clean ball? Is it? I guess the pitchers,
the hitters, they see them better.
So why does the pitcher? You're right, but why does the catcher always go for the clean ball then?
In Major League Baseball, it's a different deal.
Yeah,
they want that ball out because they don't want that scuff on it. You give a scuff ball to a big leaguer, they're going to make that thing do some crazy. The StatCaster will go nuts.
The computer will not compute.
They'll be able to. They can make that ball move significantly more with when you change the aerodynamics of the baseball.
Molly, how much baseball have you witnessed? You seen any Pitt, any ECU?
I have yet to see Pitt play. They had some weather issues early on, and then just had some schedule conflicts. I have looked at their their wins and losses, and last time I looked, like things were going pretty well.
That Jackson kid from Conley is smoking at the top of the lineup.
Good player. I tell you what, man. I made this comment the other day in a conversation with another pretty avid baseball guy. I said, I realized last year I missed baseball. I mean, I realized it. Like I was like, man, this sucks. I'd love to see a game. But now, when I'm sitting at home and on ESPN Plus, and I can watch. I've been following UNC Greensboro closely because all the local ties,
Billy and all the
primarily the hardest, Greg Hardison's son Gregory, and all the kids that are there. And, so I could sit and watch them play Tennessee, and then I could flip over. And early in the year, we had Miami playing Florida, which was really cool. I mean, and then obviously watching East Carolina. So I mean, it's one of those things you don't realize how much you miss until it's gone. And now that we've got it back, it's like, man, this is.
So where I might go to the Hornets or not them, they're my favorite team, but I would go watch the Nuggets or the Heat play. Right. On a regular night, you're going to ESPN Plus and seeing what college baseball is on.
I'm gonna find if there's not a game on, I don't mind watching a replay game I hadn't seen. And if it's, it doesn't, it doesn't. I love college baseball. I like the college game so much more than I like the pro game. And I thoroughly. I'm kind of a junkie on it. I mean, I truly enjoy watching it.
Is old man Mully okay with the traffic cone and the Tar Heels dancing last night?
I hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like any of that stuff?
But it's again, like we've talked about before, it's the younger generation. It's what gets them amped up.
Yeah.
And it is unique to college baseball, I guess. But
college baseball
football
is different than a lot of other. Well, maybe when you go down to the Latino countries, right? The Latin countries.
A lot of it's a party. The ball game's a party.
It's a lot more emotion. It's a lot more like college football than it is Major League Baseball.
It's an atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole the touch or the pickoff chain or the touchdown hammer or whatever it's all started in football, and now it's gotten to baseball to where. The bird cage and and then who was it? Was it Tennessee was trolling their own guys with a McDonald's bag of cash opening weekend because that was one of the allegations against Tennessee football or basketball, whoever it was, that they were handing out cash in McDonald's bags. So a dude hits a home run and their own team comes up with a bag of implied cash in a McDonald's bag.
I like that.
I thought it was pretty creative, but I don't. It's not. Look, that's never been my thing. But it's a different day, and if it keeps people interested and involved, then so be it.
I saw a clip of a Pitt Community College player hitting a home run, and he had one of the smoothest bat drops. It wasn't a flip.
No, just
when they do the drop after a dinger. And one of his family members commented that that's about as far as they can go.
Oh no,
they'll get in trouble.
Oh no, yeah, and that's more the kind of my thought process and the leather I'm cut from. But to each his own, and everybody has to manage their programs the way they see fit. And I think it's a recruiting thing and I don't mean like you get a leg up if you get to do I think it's. Specific to the personality of that player.
Well, look how much fun we're having too, winning and doing the stuff. And
sure, I'm not a bit like the long hair and all the. That's just not my thing. But that doesn't.
Well, I had Tommy Easton on 2 weeks ago. He still goes by the shave and have a short hair, and
I'll never forget our first team meeting there. And I've joked about this before. Everybody's sitting around, and he goes, all right, we're going over team rules. And he goes, and he's relaxed on this a little bit, but that particular time he goes, I don't care what color your shoes are as long as they're black. And everybody kind of looked, and he goes, if you got red shoes now, you just paint them black. I don't care what color they are. As long as they're black. But, I mean, and obviously a lot of my we were on the same page from the beginning with a lot of those things, but a lot of my appreciation of the game comes from the time I spent with Tommy and the respect I have for him as a man, and then obviously as a baseball guy. So he grew up in Rabbit Fulgham days and played for Coach O, and you go back and that's obviously all old school. And whenever the Mullies and Tommies of the world are gone, you may see guys bat flipping at Pitt Community. I mean, it's almost inevitable. It's just you could probably look in the dugout at the age of the manager, coach, and know what's going to be allowed.
Right. I'll go a little old man clip on you and say that, I mean, I can ignore it. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. But if I had my way, everybody on the basketball court would have team color shoes rather than pink and neon orange.
I completely agree with you.
Like it doesn't look very good to me.
But if you're an 18-year-old kid and you're a 16-year-old kid in the recruiting process, that's probably one of those deals where you go, hey, listen, we got a choice of 10 shoes you get to pick from or whatever. You just don't ever know what trips a kid's trigger. And I agree.
And every time Mully's here, I go down the road of we do Peak Too Soon radio. My days playing middle school basketball with A.G. Cox. One of my favorite things, Mully, are team issued Nikes, the
100%.
white Nikes with the green piping.
100%
was like really awesome. Hey, we all got these awesome shoes together.
No, in middle school, we were on the cutting edge. We had Brooks. Mm-hmm. Brooks came out with a high top run, and we were like the only ones to wear them. And we were Royal and Royal and Navy.
But you look good,
Royal and Gold.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it all. But it's just again, it's a different day of time. I would tell you the other thing with college basketball, the shorts have gone the other way.
Oh man, big time.
And I don't like that. I mean, I don't like to see a dude with his waistband rolled up and he's got his compression shorts are longer than it's like, what in the world?
There's a guy from Memphis. I have refused to learn his name. I just call him Butter Pecan Thighs because they're so high, and that's all you can see when he's out there playing. At least that's what I'm focused in on.
Butter
Pecan Thighs.
Okay.
Okay. Where you play, you were right at the end of the short shorts era. Did you play in the baggy shorts era?
Mm-hmm.
Was Weber and them around doing the? No, you weren't.
Jordan was the one that started all that. Jordan had
the NBA.
He had, because he would wear his Carolina shorts underneath it.
Right.
So no, we now I would say early on in, like, I don't know what you call Pop Warner basketball, or they were a little shorter to where your compression shorts came out. But no, we always had. Now we never got Weber long, but we had top of the knee.
You never went Iverson, but you also were not in the. You never wore Stocktons.
No. That I would have been terribly uncomfortable. I mean,
how did he play all those years?
No, I'm squirming just sitting here thinking about the restriction that would place on the undercarriage.
It's like a lower sports bra. It's like
exactly what no need for a jock strap.
Yeah,
you're wearing it on the outside. So I mean,
you think he went commando?
I mean, he may have. It's completely possible. He may have had a
Shirley, put it on the poll. Did John Stockton go commando during his NBA career?
It's two little butt cheeks.
Yeah, right.
But we were, we were trendy. We did the little longer shorts. And now, look, now the funny part is I go to the golf course, and you've got NBA basketball players and NCAA basketball players wearing shorty shorts. You go to the golf course, and 75-year-old dudes are wearing baggy shorts that are down to their knee.
I'm cargo shorts for the rest of my life.
Well, and the problem, and cargo shorts just are kind of in a vacuum in all of their own. I mean, you can't have, hence having functional cargo shorts. You can't have shorty shorts because where the pocket's going to go.
I miss pockets if I don't wear cargo shorts.
Well, you got them covered, pal.
And I'm sticking with it. And guess what? They're going to come back one day. I might be dead and gone, but they'll be back. Everything comes back.
Yeah, full circle.
All right, Mully. Thanks for joining us. We didn't talk about this match play event, but
it's going to be cool to watch. Start today. They play all the way through the weekend, and it's mano-a-mano, and, it's a good time.
All right, Mully, enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
We'll take a time out, come back. When we return, we'll talk a little NBA, where the shorts have gotten higher over the recent years. LaMelo Ball is out. What does that mean for the Charlotte Hornets? We'll talk about that, and the trade deadline coming up tomorrow. That and more on the way on Pirate Radio Live when Spencer Percy from the Buzzbeat Podcast joins us right after this.
Hey Birdland, as we welcome fans back to Oriole Park this season, we've set up some game day health and safety policies to keep everyone safe. At Oriole Park, this includes limited capacity pod seating, cashless transactions, mask mandates, and other policies. Get game day ready by purchasing tickets online for easy and contactless entry into the ballpark. Your energy fuels Birdland, and we're excited to welcome you back. View our complete list of game day health and safety protocols at Orioles.com/welcome back.
Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts is your hometown shop for gifts and fresh flowers. You can find unique items like Brewmate and apparel by Southern Couture, Simply Southern, and Bella Cotton. The Farmville Flower Basket also has items coming in daily for the spring and summer. Whether it's a gift or a flower arrangement for that special someone, you can find it at Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts. Give them a call today at 753-4217 or stop by their shop on Main Street in Farmville.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
Jersey Mike's Day of Giving is Wednesday, March 31st. That means all sales, all day, all donated. Enjoy a great sub for a great cause and get delivery with our app. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. If you can make a difference, you should. At Jersey Mike's, it's this simple philosophy that spurs us to celebrate our month of giving. This March, enjoy a sub and donate to a great local cause. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
National Signing Day has come and gone, but that doesn't mean the recruiting news cycle is stopping. In fact, the Pirates still have their sights set on top targets in the transfer portal and have already turned their attention to the 2022 class. HoistTheColors.net has the latest on EC recruiting from a football perspective, and we also cover basketball and baseball commitments like no others. Sign up now and get your first month for a single $1 to get the latest scoop on your favorite Pirate teams, along with in-depth baseball and spring football coverage in the months ahead. HoistTheColors.net.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
Listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Select Bank and Trust. Banking is banking until the service is not the same. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? Try Select Bank and Trust. Bank local. Bank select. SelectBank.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Villa Verde on 10th Street and Villa Verde Dos by the hospital are open for you, serving unique and healthy dishes from the Dominican Republic. Order online at myvillaverde.com or the Villa Verde app. Order a family meal that feeds 6 to 7 people, and they'll have it ready for curbside pickup today. Whether it's dine-in or take-out, Villa Verde is a platform for good. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right. One of the routines Chandler has, I need to jump on, Villa Verde Fridays. He always has a nice bowl that looks so good.
What is it that you normally get, Chandler?
Well, I do the low carb, so my base is a salad, and then I'll go with some chicken and other toppings and stuff like that. It's very good.
Okay.
And then they have like a Villa Verde sauce or something like a Dominican sauce that I drizzle on the top of it. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. Villa Verde Dos right over there at the hospital.
All right. I tell you what, not a great slate of NBA action tonight. I guess best game of the night is, I don't know, Clippers, Spurs, Celtics, Bucks perhaps, but we'll be paying attention to Hornets and Rockets. They're in action tonight, and we'll talk some Hornets basketball right now with Spencer Percy from the Buzzbeat podcast. He joins us on the Fixed NC live line. Spencer, how you doing?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Hey, doing good. And Hornets picking up a big win the other night. It was big for multiple reasons, and one of those is it was the first game without LaMelo Ball, and of course he suffered an injury, and it appeared he was going to be out for the year, and still could. Did see some somewhat positive news on that front yesterday. Spencer, as Shams tweeted out that LaMelo Ball underwent surgery on his fractured right wrist, will be reevaluated in approximately 4 weeks, leaving possibility for return this season. So you're telling me there's a chance. Look, it's I don't know. I'm kind of fearing the worst here, that his rookie season might be over, Spencer. But I don't know. Did that news yesterday change your outlook on this injury for LaMelo Ball, or are you thinking kind of that we've seen the last of him for this year?
I think there's a chance that he can return this year. I mean, it really depends on what part of the wrist that he broke. There's some speculation out there that he broke, and I'm not going to try to get all I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to get all the medical terminology correctly. But basically, he broke potentially a bone that's kind of the right part of the hand, closest to the thumb. That is an injury that is most common in wrist fractures. It accounts for about 10% of those. Apparently, and so there's a chance that this thing can heal in 6 weeks-ish, which brings him back towards the end of a regular season. So I don't really know what to guess on what's going to happen for LaMelo for the rest of the season, but it does sound like there's some legitimacy to that report that Shams had, and there's a chance if Charlotte's playing in a playoff series, we could see LaMelo Ball again this year.
Never a good time for it, but almost perfect or imperfect timing, Spencer, that it comes right when it's announced that the Hornets are going to be able to have more fans at the Spectrum Center, and there's a lot of Hornets fans out there that want to see LaMelo Ball play in person. They won't be able to do that for a while, but that news came out yesterday as well. I believe Rick Bonnell tweeted that the Hornets are going to allow around 5,000, I believe, Spencer, at the Spectrum Center beginning on Friday. So that's a positive sign that more fans will be able to see this fun team in person.
Yep, 25% capacity in the Spectrum Center, so that's really exciting. You make a great point. You know, a lot of those folks certainly would have come to mostly see LaMelo Ball and that exciting product, but I think the Hornets have a chance to be okay here. You know, we recorded an episode of Buzzbeat, the podcast that I'm on every week last night, and I just talked about how, you know, the way Terry Rozier's playing, the addition of Gordon Hayward, you know, we know what Devontae Graham is at this point. I think the Hornets have a chance to be more efficient in certain areas of the game offensively without LaMelo, and that's not to say LaMelo was a net negative for this team at all. That's obviously not the case. He's raised the ceiling of the Hornets drastically in his rookie year. But, like, for instance, I think they could be better in the half court offensively, where they've been one of the worst 10 teams in the league this year. Devontae Graham just adds a shooting element that I think is more respected around the league. Knowing LaMelo's really shot it well this year, Devontae Graham coming off screens, teams in pick and rolls, they got to be up. They have to be, in his airspace, not letting him come off plays like that and be able to step right into a shot. So, and Graham's a great passer. He sees the floor well, super unselfish player. So I think there's ways Charlotte can weather this storm and stay right around 500 all the way to the finish line. Another really interesting stat, just in terms of a playing style, and I know I'm kind of going on a tangent here, not really answering your question, Clip, but I find this very fascinating. It plays into the LaMelo injury conversation, is Charlotte leads the league in transition frequency, so the number of transition offensive opportunities of live defensive rebounds. They're last in the league in efficiency and how often they actually score off of those chances. Yeah. They also lead the league in frequency off of in transition, and they're one of the most efficient teams in the league off of steals. So I just think that gap in those two different kind of transition plays is so fascinating. And the reason I bring that up is I actually think they're going to get into transition a lot less without LaMelo. Just because they lose this awesome rebounding guard who's QB1 as soon as he rebounds and looks up the floor, right? So, like, Gordon Hayward or Miles Bridges are running the wing like madmen. I think they're going to do that less. So I think in a way they're going to actually be maybe a little bit more efficient offensively. So it's just something to watch as we move forward, and some optimism, because I think the national narrative is, the Hornets are done, they lost LaMelo. I'm not so sure that's the case. There's still a lot of good players on this roster. They're good enough to make the playoffs in the East.
Hornets are definitely going to fall out of the national spotlight with LaMelo Ball out, but I agree with you. They can hover around 500 here, and not to put too much weight on one game of an NBA season, but that was really a gutsy win the other night at San Antonio for multiple reasons. You're without LaMelo Ball for the first time, but also you're on this brutal road trip, and you had gotten beat down pretty good the previous 3 games. They go out, win at San Antonio, and put themselves in a good spot tonight. They're road favorites against Houston, but that one felt that was kind of one to mark down. I feel like Monday night, Spencer, picking up that win over San Antonio on the road.
Oh, I totally agree. I think that, and it was obvious in the first quarter just watching that game, the Hornets had some hair on their back. They have to prove something, after being blown out, in back-to-back games out west, and then the LaMelo injury news, and it's just, everyone's looking at you saying, we can write these guys off. It's easy to get up in a game like that, and the Hornets did, and they got a big win they absolutely needed. Now let's see if they can carry that momentum forward. They get a Houston team tonight who probably the worst team in the NBA right now, not worst team in the NBA record-wise, but they just snapped in their last game a 20-game losing streak. Victor Oladipo, I think who is their leading scorer right now, is very likely to be traded before tomorrow's trade deadline. So, there's a lot of unsure factors around that team right now. So not a game tonight the Hornets can really afford to slip up in.
Speaking of that deadline coming up on Thursday, Spencer, any rumblings, any expectation for the Hornets to do something before Thursday?
Yeah, I think so. I think I know they're sniffing around the league looking for help at center. You've heard names like Miles Turner from Indiana, one of the best defensive centers in the NBA. Rashawn Holmes has really been an up-and-coming player in Sacramento for the last 2 years. You got second draft kind of guys who have disappointed but are still on rookie contracts, like a Wendell Carter, maybe Lauri Markkanen, also in Chicago, has been a guy whose name's been floated out to a lot of different teams. So I think Charlotte's doing their due diligence and having all those phone calls, but I think what it boils down to, Clip, is like, let's back up. Let's pretend like let's talk about Miles Turner here. Miles Turner, again, arguably the best defensive center in the NBA. Is Charlotte willing to part ways with a first-round pick that has some light lottery protection on it, and plus a young player like a P.J. Washington or a Miles Bridges? I'm not really sure they are.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think it's more likely you see, if Charlotte does something before the deadline at 3 o'clock tomorrow, something on the fringes. Rashawn Holmes is probably more gettable, where you give up a lottery protected first or a few seconds and some salary fodder. Holmes is only on a $5 million contract, so he's easy to get. Something more like that. I wouldn't expect some big splash acquisition for the Hornets before tomorrow, because I just don't think this team has an appetite to part ways with a first-round pick or one of their core young players at this point in their trajectory as a team.
And with the names you float out there and that are out there with Kyle Lowry, Aaron Gordon, John Collins, Lauri Markkanen, those are some names. Oladipo you mentioned as well. Like, are they all contenders to go to a handful of teams, the LA teams, maybe a Philly, Brooklyn? I don't know what the numbers say cap-wise for those teams, but are these guys kind of ring chasers here, or could you see them ending up at quote-unquote random teams here at the deadline?
So I think that Aaron Gordon and Victor Oladipo, I think that there are a lot of teams that could get into the race for those guys. Gordon is the one that I really think, if there's one player in the trade market this year, he's the one player that I see that could actually make a serious difference for somebody like a Boston or a Denver, or the two teams that I really think are interesting for him. I know Boston, they've got a lot of pressure to make a trade right now. They're one game under 500 with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on the roster, and they just shouldn't be this bad. I know they're thin. I know they really don't have much in the middle, but this is an unacceptable season for them, and I think that Boston knows that. So I think Aaron Gordon makes sense there. He plugs a lot of different holes for them. Let's see. The names like Kyle Lowry you brought up, Andre Drummond, we hear. Those are like, Lowry's either going to be in Philly, he's either going to be in Miami, if they'll part ways with Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero, or he's going to re-sign with Toronto, and Toronto will trade him later. So, those kind of names, Andre Drummond, Cavs are going to try to trade him, but his cap number is close to $30 million this year. That's going to be really hard. So I think it's more likely he gets bought out. And any guy on the buyout market, Clip, is going to go to one of the LA teams, Brooklyn, Miami, Philly. I'm probably leaving out a few contenders here, Denver maybe, but the Hornets, for instance, aren't going to be in the conversation for buyout players. Yeah. Those guys are just ring chase. I'm trying to think if there's somebody else you mentioned that I didn't answer, but I think Oladipo, Gordon are the most interesting guys in the market, and then I would really pay close attention to Indiana. They're a team that, you can tell me they did anything with any single player on their entire roster before 3 o'clock tomorrow, and I would totally believe you. They've talked about Brogdon. They've obviously talked about Miles Turner. I bet you they've had conversations about Domantas Sabonis. They're just in a very weird place as a franchise with veterans on mid-level contracts. They can easily press reset if they want to, and they can get a big haul for some of those players I just mentioned. So that's the team that I would really, they could really blow up this trade deadline.
Spencer Percy, Busby Podcast, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. The Hornets right now 7th in the Eastern Conference, and they are a half game up on the Celtics. They are 4.5 games up on the 11th place team, Toronto, and that's important, right, Spencer? Explain to me and the listeners as well why you want to finish in the top 8, but this year you want to finish at least in the top 10 to give yourself a chance, right?
Yeah, the NBA, they experimented with it in the bubble, and now they're going to stick with it. This play-in 2 games, 7 will play 10, 8 will play 9. In both conferences, basically, if you're a 9 or a 10 seed in either conference, you got to go win 2 road games against that higher seed that you would play. So, to your point, the Hornets really have some breathing room from where that 10th place team is and where Toronto sits at 11th right now. So, and I think they're going to sell Lowry before the deadline. Yeah. And I also think they're probably going to try to get off Norman Powell. So, that's a team that's taken themselves kind of out of the race. So, it seems kind of inconceivable at this point. I shouldn't say that. It seems like they won't finish in the top 10 in the East. It really does, even after the LaMelo injury. So, but, here's what's really interesting for Charlotte. Right now, yes, they're in 7th. They're also tied for 5th. There's a long game right there in the middle. So if they get to that 6th seed and can avoid that play-in tournament, those playing games altogether, which I think is I do think it's doable. I don't think it's probable. I do think it's doable, which is why I would just not give up on them being somewhat of a buyer at the deadline here. It's just fascinating that we're here at this point in the season with LaMelo's trajectory and now him being injured and getting this win in San Antonio on Monday, and here we are at 500, and there's, we're almost 65% of the way through the season, and Charlotte, again, it looks like they're going to be in some kind of postseason format, which is pretty cool.
No doubt about that. Spencer Percy joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Hornets and Rockets tonight as Charlotte continues to play the Western Conference road trip here. Spencer, before we let you go, I know you weren't happy to see the Ohio Bobcats take down the Virginia Cavaliers in the tournament. How's your bracket? Are you one of the few that is looking good with your bracket right now?
I can't escape it, man. One of my co-hosts, Richie Randall, he brought it up to me last night. So everybody's getting me right now with the old Ohio Bobcats.
Sorry.
My bracket is trashed. No, you're good. It's gone, just like everybody else. I think I really thought, because I think the narrative was like, this tournament's going to be crazy. We're going to see a lot of upsets just because of the year, everything that's happened, the uncertainty, blah, blah, blah. I just kind of thought, I'm just going to zag against that idea, Maybe all this means is that the cream's actually going to rise to the top easier. That hadn't been the case at all. So, but I will, let me say this about Virginia. Because I don't know that everyone knows this. They had to exit the ACC tournament early because of a positive case of COVID. And then they sat in Charlottesville all week leading up to their game versus Ohio. They didn't leave for Indianapolis as a team until Friday. They hadn't practiced together all week. They picked up, basketballs off the rack Saturday morning, game day against Ohio, had a shoot around, had probably a walkthrough, about here's what you do, against this team. And then they went and played. So I still think they should have won the game. It's not an excuse, but at the same time, it's cards are a little stacked against you there.
No doubt about it. Did not have an easy road there for sure. Spencer Percy joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line, new ep of the BuzzBeat podcast, available for you to download. Spencer, it's a lot of fun, man. We've had some pretty depressing conversations over the years regarding the Hornets. So even though LaMelo's out, there's a lot of positivity going on with the team right now. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk more Hornets hoops with you down the road, man.
Sounds good. Take care, Cliff.
Thank you, Spencer Percy. BuzzBeat podcast, Hornets Rockets tonight. We will take a timeout, come back. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live is on the way. We got our Bud Light ECU report, and that includes a lot of Mike Houston comments. Bryce Williams going to join us in the Pirate Radio studios. We'll hear what Mike Houston had to say following yesterday's pads practice. The pads were popping. The guys were physical, and Mike Houston was fired up after practice. We'll hear his comments when we return. Hour 3, Pirate Radio Live on the way after this.
What the heck was that?
There goes Chuck from Naughty Dog again, so pumped about the awesome things at Naughty Dog, he runs around town screaming with excitement. Naughty Dog releases 2 to 3 beers every month, has food trucks every Friday and Saturday, wine specials every Wednesday, plenty of indoor and outdoor space to enjoy, beers to go with curbside pickup, and just launched the new Koozie Club. Be sure to ask about that on your next visit. Naughty Dog Brewing Company on Main Street in downtown Winterville, and be sure to follow Naughty Dog on Facebook and Instagram.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust? Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked! This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Big Ed Watkins here. As a former ECU football player, America's Gas Man, 3-time NASCAR champion, and 3-time Daytona 500 champion, I know what it takes to win. I also know what it takes to make folks happy on the water. When I'm not at the track, I'm making deals at the hottest boat dealership in North Carolina. If you're in the market for a boat, shop us online now at edwatkinsmarine.com. We will deliver anywhere. And if you buy a boat from me, Pirate Nation, I will personally deliver it. I love Eastern North Carolina, and we are ready to deal with lots of inventory on hand. We are your one-stop shop for sales and service. Get on the water now with the help of Ed Watkins Marine, and go Pirates.
It's bow time. There's something special about the first bite of a Bojangles Cajun Filet biscuit, like an edible alarm clock that slaps you awake with bold Cajun flavor. The moment you sink your teeth into that soft, fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit, then strike gold with a juicy piece of fried chicken, you'll know. Nothing beats the first bite, except the second first bite. Get a Cajun Filet biscuit combo for just $4.99. It's bow time.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
A car wash experience like no other is here at the new Tommy's Express. You'll enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride through our bright, inviting wash as luscious foams and soft cloths treat your car like new. After a final rinse, wax, and blow dry for a beautiful spot-free shine in just about 3 minutes, help yourself to our free vacuums and mat washers. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
Join the staff at CPW's in Greenville for a classic road trip down Highway 61 as they feature excerpts from their classic Blues Highway food and drink menu. Come celebrate Blues Brothers Night every Thursday with bar specials. Open for lunch with new lunch specials and everyday features including pizza, salad, and quesadillas. Also offering drop-off catering for work and school events. CPW's, Stanton Square across from the hospital in Greenville.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, Office Coordinator for ECU Football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Keep your vehicle clean with the Pirates Cove Car Wash Fast Pass. The Fast Pass allows you to have unlimited car washes every month at every location. Pirates Cove Car Wash has locations in Greenville on 10th Street, Fire Tower Road, and Memorial Drive. Pirates Cove Car Wash, the ultimate car wash experience and the official car wash of ECU Athletics. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome into Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We got the clean-cut Bryce Williams joining us today.
Oh yeah,
you were fresh off changing some tires last week. You had a little.
Yeah, I was a mess.
You're fresh out of the shower today.
Oh yeah, we're going out to eat.
Okay.
Yes. So.
All right, looking sharp.
Thank you.
Shirley Rose Chandler Honeycutt here as well. We've got some football to discuss with Bryce Williams, and I tell you what, let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll talk about Bryce's bracket later.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we know. Let's not start on a bad note.
That's right.
Let's start on a good note and get to the Bud Light ECU report. Brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Bryce, spring practice has begun. Yesterday, I saw a picture of a famous former Pirate, David Garrard, was out at spring football practice.
Was he? Dang.
So, Bryce, you've been trying to get in, talking to the coaches and everything.
Yeah.
When are you going to be our
I don't know, what's
eyes
it, Wednesday?
in the sky? Yeah.
Obviously, they practice every day, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'm going to get out there now.
Yeah.
See, I was just letting, now that David's been out there, he's warmed the waters for me for visitors. So, I'm going to say, look, you let David in?
Yeah.
Let me in.
Let me in. Former tight end.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get in there soon. Shoot.
So yesterday was a good day to be there, Bryce, because the pads were popping.
That's right. I did see I was posting on that, so that is definitely exciting, and probably a bunch of. I mean, I think the players are too, because that's when you can really start utilizing your technique. You don't have to. You can play football instead of having to just sort of pitter patter.
It's a controlled violence,
right?
In that
controlled
situation.
violence.
So what is that like when you are first day of pads, spring football? You're excited to hit somebody, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
But you don't want to, kill your teammates. So how do you handle that?
Well, I mean, yeah. You go off. So you got your season, and then you got the whole winter, and lifting weights, and so football's kind of like, all right, you get a little antsy again, and then especially it seemed like the longest days leading up to the pads. Like, all right, I'm ready to stop. Just pitter patter my hands or whatever you want to call it, and so when you get the pads on, you get to let a little aggression out. So that's always nice, and of course when you dominate the other opponent at times, you can't win them all, but when you get to do that, obviously that feels good as well. So let the defensive guys know that offense is obviously better. So
that's a battle too in itself that continues on, right? Like you might beat a guy one day, the next day he's gonna come out ready for you.
For sure. Oh yeah, he'll like, all right, I'm ready for that. And some of those long arm guys, when they just do that long arm, and you're like, dadgummit. So that's when, obviously, like, all right, I'm ready for that long arm. So you kind of get your hands on quicker and stay a little lower. So. It's just a great thing whenever you get your hands on those guys.
Let's hear what Mike Houston had to say, his opening comments after a physical ECU practice on Tuesday.
Well, the first day in pads did not disappoint. I can say that. A little sloppy in the beginning, which is not unexpected. You put the pads on and you bring intensity and contact and competition into the game. And it's been a while since we've been in that setting, but as practice went on, the guys settled in. But the one thing I will say is, the days of anything less than highly physical defense and a physical offense are over. I mean, that bunch, and just to the point now, we got to make sure we keep it from going overboard. But they competed at a very high level. There was a ton of energy. There was a ton of just intensity out there on the field. Lots of good, a million things to correct, but the one thing that they responded to was we challenged them to show that this was going to be a hard-nosed football team, and I think there was a lot of intent in the way they practiced today to show that in everything they did. It was really enjoyable to see. It's now you can fix all the other stuff.
Nice to hear Mike Houston in a good mood after a day of hitting. Bryce, did it seem like in your career the physicality of practice anyway is probably opposite for the games, but practice physicality got less and less the higher up you went? Like, or am I wrong on that? Like, because they did the Oklahoma drill yesterday. Like, is that did you find yourself popping more in high school than college than the pros?
Honestly, yeah, I think in a way, yeah, for sure. I mean, even in Little League, we did pretty much like the Oklahoma drill or Bama drill, whatever you want to call it. And I mean, I remember. That was
the only level of football I played. I remember it being pretty physical.
Yeah, I guess those coaches love to see us young guys just slam into each other. Yeah. I mean, I'm having flashbacks of that because that was. I mean, I remember. Yeah, it was rough. But yeah, high school was. I don't remember, or at least my school. I don't think we really did the Oklahoma or whatever Joey want to call it.
Yeah.
As much, but it was pretty physical. College, I don't think I've ever done that drill at ECU when I played.
What was the most physical things you guys would do when you were playing at ECU?
I mean, I think it would just be our normal padded deal. I don't
just kind of like a regular scrimmage type thing.
Yeah, just a normal, just live practice. Yeah. Is what we got to. We never did. Not that I remember really any like one-on-one, against the linebackers or DNs. Whenever I played like tight ends and things like that. Honestly, I don't think so. But and then I've seen that as you want to get in the NFL, it's physical in the pads, but we never did too many, like anything like the Oklahoma drill or anything like
guys
that.
Guys are making too much money to
so just bang heads for I mean, I would say definitely as you kind of progress that it doesn't get as physical outside of the 11-on-11.
If you had your way, would you like it more physical or would you like it less at practice?
Probably. Well, I think in college I wouldn't have mind. mind like more like what they do now, with the one-on-ones, just to kind of establish. All right, let's see who's where you stand against the defensive guys. I would have liked to have done that, but NFL, nah, probably not, just because you got a bunch of other mess to worry about and everything like that. So yeah, but it would have been cool to do that. My playing days.
Well, Bryce liked the contact. Mike Houston was asked, did his players enjoy Tuesday and all the contact at practice?
They had plenty today, so it was and we only had 3 scripted kind of live segments. We had a little one-on-one segment to start practice that you guys got to see a little bit of. We had our inside run drill, which that was the one I thought was a little sloppy. But I mean, they're so juiced up. I mean, they'll get that together. But it wasn't for lack of physicality. I thought team was really good. It was a little too much at the very, very beginning, but settled into a good thud tempo. And I thought the competition at the end had tremendous intensity. It was an exciting way to end practice.
The further you get away from the center, the less contact you're going to have, I would guess. However, you look at Hardy and Zay, your receivers on that team were blocking.
Oh, for
great
sure.
blocking receivers.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, you got Coach K instilled in us, to block. I mean, if we're blocking on the perimeter and one of our running backs breaks it out and you're sitting there lollygagging or watching the play, you're going to get your butt ripped. And Coach K definitely instilled in us to, block our guy, block downfield, chase the ball and everything. So, yeah, our receivers, we had some definitely physical guys.
And you lined up quite a bit in the slot, but you were also on the line some and even in the backfield some. So were you involved in if they did an inside run drill, would you be a part of that?
Yeah, I would do inside. I think during inside they'd be doing, I think I would rotate actually. I would do inside for a little bit because that was during one-on-ones, and I think I'd start on inside and then go to one-on-ones, and Baggett would, go, do the inside drill and everything like that. But I remember, Coach Houston saying, inside gets sloppy, and I was thinking, honestly, it really can get sloppy because the defense obviously knows you're running the ball, so it's just crowding and everything like that. So I remember inside drill getting sloppy if they, things didn't get straightened out.
Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector tweeted out a picture yesterday, Bryce. This is the UNC transfer, DJ Ford. And, Blake Harrell's not a very tall man, but he is towering over Blake Harrell. He's could come in and make an impact right away. The transfer from USC, the DB. And Mike Houston was asked about how he's looked so far in practice.
Very well. He is long. He is rangy. He's smart. The thing that's been so impressive to me is just I spent a lot of time last week with that unit and just, his preparation. In the meeting room, taking detailed notes, asking really good questions, just really preparing himself and then taking that to the field. And you can tell he's a savvy guy that's played a lot of snaps. But he had a very, very strong day today. Had a big pick during one of our competition settings, and so I think he's coming along really nicely. And the best thing about that is it's raised the level of play of the other guys in that room. And it's a competition. Competition brings out the best in everybody.
Sorry to cut you off there, Coach. So that's DJ Ford he's talking about there. We mentioned yesterday Gerard Stringer started every game, Bryce, at outside linebacker, kind of the hybrid position, safety, and started every game in 2019, missed all of 2020 due to injury. And Mike Houston said it's a different world. He's back now healthy, but they've brought in some pieces where he's got to earn his spot back. He doesn't just go right back in. So, and we've talked about this in the past too. You want to stay on the field, stay in practice as much as you can because you can lose your spot just like that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if you're not out there, getting your reps in and constantly proving to the coaches, earning your spot each day is pretty much how it is for the most part, I guess you could say. But yeah, unfortunately, him missing so much. Coaches got to make changes. They can't say I'm gonna sit back and wait, and then, that spot doesn't get filled, and you're still hurt and things like that. So yeah, and so he's gonna have to work hard. And obviously, Coach Houston's saying competition brings out the best.
That's a good thing.
And then for sure, and if you got a new guy coming in, you're like, shoot, there's threat of me losing my spot. Obviously, that's going to make him, whoever's in threat of losing their spot to, be more focused on, their assignments and obviously physicality and hustle and everything like that. So I think that's definitely a good thing they got that going.
And just because you bring in a new guy, it's not his spot either. Like, everybody's trying to earn it. And you probably saw that when you bring in transfers. Some guys would work hard from day one. Some guys probably thought, I'm here to start without doing the work.
Right, which is... maybe it'll work for some people, but most of the time you could come in with that entitled attitude, you're going to be upset real quick.
All right, we got an update, Bryce. We got more tight ends and less tight ends. We got more position changes.
Oh, goodness.
Brian Gagg, the former quarterback, is moving to tight end for ECU. And
what in the world?
Travion Freshwater, a potential new position change as well. Mike Houston gave an update on those guys yesterday.
I thought Gagg had a good, solid start in helmets. I was anxious to see how it would go today. He didn't back down, which I was proud of him. And I'll tell you this, that kid is working his tail off. So was it perfect? No. But he just made a transition from a quarterback who's been in a red jersey for 2 years to now all of a sudden he's in the middle of inside run trying to block a defensive end. So, I want to look at the film. But I'd say overall through 3 days and 1 day of contact, we're happy with the direction he's headed. Kazai's going to be fine. And I think that, his feet and his power are going to give him a shot there. The thing that he's struggling with right now is he's never played offensive line before. So, but again, both kids, same things are allowing them to progress positively, and that's a good attitude and just really having a lot of drive.
All right, I set that up as Freshwater, a potential position change. Maybe we'll touch on that more with Igo on Thursday. He was talking about Keziah Everett there, Mount Everett, the big kid from Farmville Central who came in as a defensive tackle who is now going to move to the offensive side of the ball.
Oh, wow.
So this is another good thing about spring ball too, Bryce. Last year, if you had to go over position changes and move a guy, you were doing it during fall camp and not spring because there was no spring.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, which would be super tough.
Yeah.
To do that with the season, so close, and looking at Brian Gagg's, 6'3", 211, which not a bad start, at least height wise, and it'd be nice if he could get up into the 230. He's got all spring, all summer to gain, at least 15 pounds. It'd be nice to see him, flirting in the 230s, which is, possible. It's kind of funny. I'm looking at him and thinking of what he's going through right now as a quarterback and to be thrown in as a tight end. But it's like, honestly, what a great time to do, to have that transition. So you're not just thrown in the fire during the fall. He has all the spring. Right now your focus is, which is typically always football. He can, just work on his steps, his techniques and everything, work on eating, gaining weight, lifting. So it kind of fires me up to think, what this kid is, how his mentality is right now, mindset, saying, look, I'm getting an opportunity, and then probably moved him there, I guess, thinking maybe it is better for him. So, hopefully he takes with it and works hard with it, and hopefully, when we talk about in the fall, maybe something will come of it.
Yeah, and you want to get on the field if you're a player, and he sees this as his best path right now.
For sure, because you definitely are rotating tight ends way more than you are quarterback. So, we got, 6, 7 now? Is it 7 with him?
You've got Calhoun, and who Igo said is probably in line right now if they started this week to be the starter. He says Ryan Jones, the kid from Oklahoma, is looking really good out there, the transfer, who just, I believe, returned yesterday to practice, who's back at practice this week after having some troubles. So you got them. You've got the transfer from Temple, Jarman, in the mix. You've still got Zach Bird is there. Freshwater moved over there to tight end. Gagg would be 6. I'm probably leaving somebody out. That's the 7th. I think there's another freshman in the mix. So
goodness gracious. And he's only a redshirt freshman. Redshirt. He's still young, and he's got to, when he gets that opportunity, he's got to make he's got to stand out in some form or fashion, especially as a tight end, whether it's blocking or making catching the ball when he gets it, or there's unfortunately he won't have too many excuses if that ball's within range and he doesn't catch it. You can't say too much, being what position he's in right now.
What were you in a tight end position room or or you with the inside receivers?
We were just inside receivers.
Right.
Yeah, we unfortunately didn't get our own room, but I guess I was fine being the inside receivers.
Mike Houston was asked about a 3-on-3 drill with the defensive lineman and talked about the physicality of it, and here's what he had to say about that. Cut 5, Charlie.
It was intense. I look forward to looking at the film. I mean, I was just trying to stay out of the way so I didn't get caught up, because it was a melee now. So I got leg whipped a couple of times. I got some my scars all over my shins and stuff. That's from the cleats and everything. But it was exactly what we needed, because when you get in that setting, you still are pretty young on the defensive front, and you've got some older guys on the offensive line. And you get in that setting, it brings out. I mean, it exposes you, or it shows what you got in you. And I really thought that it brought out a lot of high-level competition. So it's going to be a great film to watch.
And Mike Houston actually allowed some cameras to be around yesterday, so Jenny did a great job getting some video and some pictures, and those are available on our social media sites. You can check those out. Mike Houston asked what he wants to see moving forward from the D-line and the defense as we progress during the spring.
I think consistency. I think you're going to see us play at times. I would anticipate, again, showing improvement over last year's defensive front. So I think you're going to see some times where we're going to play pretty well. I'm 3 days into spring practice saying that, but I really believe in this bunch. The things that hurt us last year was inconsistency. Giving up big plays, giving up big runs. Not being able to put enough pressure on the offense at times. So I think those things right there are the things that we got to continue to correct. I think the consistency piece and some of the big plays piece will improve just with the second year in the scheme and an improved ability just from development. And I think that just continuing to improve our ability to put pressure on the offense.
All right, Mike Houston there. Over the offseason, ECU added Latrell Scott. Now, he was a head coach at Norfolk State, but they didn't play last fall. They did not play this spring, and it sounds like not a great situation there with Norfolk State football right now. He decided to come to East Carolina. He is the tight ends, inside receivers coach, and also the passing game coordinator. Now, your offensive coordinator is Donnie Kirkpatrick. You don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. That could be a negative, but you had a guy that with head coaching experience that could help out. It could be a major positive for this team. He was asked, Mike Houston was asked about Scott's role as the passing game coordinator and adding him to the mix.
Well, I mean, I think that, we're fortunate to have a guy of his experience level here. I think he'll bring a lot to the room from thoughts and ideas. I think he'll bring a lot to the room from a game planning standpoint. Hadn't changed anything with who our offensive coordinator is, and that's Donnie Kirkpatrick. And it's, he's the guy that's in charge of running the offense. But I think we've brought in a guy that has tremendous experience and can bring something to the table when it comes to just sitting in that room and breaking down how to attack people, bringing some thoughts and concepts that maybe, I think anytime you bring new guys to staff, you're bringing in somebody that's been exposed to some different things. So I think you're always going to have some new things that they will bring into us. Chris is going to do that on offense. Latrell's going to do that on offense. Tim's going to do that on defense. I mean, that's one of the positive things of bringing some fresh guys in.
All right, Mike Houston mentioned Chris there. That's Chris Foster, the new running backs coach at ECU. How have guys like Harrison Mitchell responded to the new running backs coach?
Oh, I think they're responding well. And I think it's a credit to Chris. And I think it's a credit to the relationship that Chris and Darrell have. They're very close. I think they're similar. They're different in some ways, but Chris brings that same compassion for his players, his same genuineness with how he communicates with them, and he brings that same fire and energy. Now they're different in the way they bring that fire and energy, but I think that all the guys in that room have positively kind of made the transition and are really growing in their relationship with him.
There is Mike Houston from yesterday's post-game spring practice press conference. The Bud Light ECU Report brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game, drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Bryce, what's the grind like for spring football, where you're excited to get back at it, and after you hit 1 week, do you kind of have to find your second wind a little bit, or is it something that you kind of stay motivated throughout the entire process?
I think you, for me at least, I think I stayed motivated and sort of excited, you know, through that whole process, just because, you know, it's a short little moment, so you get a little spurt and a little taste of it until, you know, summer comes, and obviously feel always, you know, the weather's good. All you have is football, you know, it's just during the week. Well, and then you have your scrimmages, which the scrimmages we always look forward to because those were a good time. And then obviously the rest of your weekends were off. It wasn't like a game, you know, during the season where your whole weekend's pretty well, your Saturdays are done and everything. So it was fun. You got a little taste of football, but still got to, you know, have your extracurricular stuff and everything. But for me, I enjoyed, you know, spring ball for, you know, those reasons.
And what is, after you play the spring game, you're done with football activities as a team, official activities for a while. So what is that like between end of April to I don't know, till July? Like what's in that time frame?
Well, I think it's goodness, what did we do back then?
Is that just more conditioning?
I think it was some were they voluntary? I think we had a little break of like lifting. It wasn't mandatory, wasn't, you know, voluntary, anything like that. I think we had a little break to go home and things like that for a little bit. But during those times, you know, be weightlifting, and then it would be getting together as a, you know, just sort of the guy, you know, Shane or whoever, you know, Shane would obviously, he was my quarterback for most of the time. So, you know, they would, you know, text, hey, we got, you know, team 7-on-7, you know, things like that, or routes, you know, offense would just get together on routes and sort of do things like that just to stay
kind of on your own a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So there's definitely some, the word just left me, accountability, I guess you could say, to, you know, to sort of maintain and not just say, all right, spring's done and let's not touch a football, you know, until the summer or anything like that. So, you're definitely constantly moving, you know, always football and lifting weights. So I enjoyed it.
That's what Bryce is good at, but you can't be good at everything. One of those things is filling out brackets, unfortunately. We got to take a look at Bryce's bracket. That was the Bud Light ECU Report. We'll talk about that when we return. Shirley, let's go ahead and make somebody a winner right now and open up the Pirate Radio booty bag on a Wednesday.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250. If you want to be a winner, what are we giving away, Shirley?
How about free lunch at CPW's?
Sounds like a plan. What caller are we looking for?
Let's go with lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7, 317-1250. You can be a winner. Matt on Facebook Live says we might need a tight end coordinator just to keep up with all the names. Because that is that's another job for Coach Scott, just to remember all his tight ends' names right now. There's a lot of them.
I mean, that's like an inside receivers.
We'll take a time out. Come back. We'll have our winner and more with Bryce Williams when we return after this.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in Eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Whether you're flying for business or for pleasure, enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport to get you where you're going and then home again safely. For your next trip, remember, American Airlines is back at PGV. Book today at aa.com. Pitt Greenville Airport, where the pirates fly.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Been pulled over for speeding and written a ticket? Then you need to call O'Neill's Speedometer Service in Greenville. O'Neill's can calibrate all vehicles for speeding tickets. All-wheel drives, no problem. 18-wheelers, no problem. Motorcycles, no problem. O'Neill's can also repair instrument gauges that have stopped working. Whether you drive a Ford or GMC, Greenville's trusted speedometer shop for over 30 years is O'Neill's. Call today for repairs or calibration work at 756-5050. O'Neill's Speedometer Service. Go Pirates.
Oh, great. It's 30 degrees in here.
No one's coming out this late.
I'm on firewood.
Dad! I'll put hot coals in our socks for bedtime. Mom!
I'm from Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Got an email about your heat being out?
That was me. I sent it from my phone.
I think your socks are on fire.
Delcor responds to heating emergencies 24 hours a day. Go to DelcorInc.com or call 252-321-8868. Get a new train system with special financing for 60 months, subject to credit approval. It's hard to stop a train. Offer expires 3/31/21.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
This is Coach Gary Overton, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Live well, move more, and hurt less with Kinetic Physical Therapy. If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, the Kinetic Physical Therapy can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has nationally certified therapists for physical, occupational, speech, and massage therapy, all in a state-of-the-art facility on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Visit KineticPTGreenville.com for more information. And congratulations to Lonnie Kinker of Chesterfield, Virginia. Picked up lunch at CPW's. CPW's is open every day for lunch. Their classic menu is also back with your favorites like tortellini CPW's, Cajun chicken and pasta, classic lasagna, the garbage pizza, the stromboli, calzone, Atlantic salmon, Cajun fried shrimp wrap, and more. And you can start every meal off with your favorite beverage and CPW's fresh baked bread and garlic butter. CPW's is in the Stanton Square Shopping Center next to the hospital. You can follow them on Facebook for daily updates. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
The Kink does it again. Lonnie Kinker.
Yep, he said the Kink is back.
The Kink is back. All right. Well done, Lonnie. Bryce and I went down a quarterback wormhole, rabbit hole during the break. And talking about Gardner Minshew, being mentioned out there as potentially joining the 49ers. It looks like the Jags are going to sign another QB. Of course, they're going to bring in Trevor Lawrence. They're going to draft him first overall.
Yeah.
So he's going to be the guy. Could open up a spot for Minshew. And we're talking about just kind of career journeyman quarterbacks. I think Minshew's going to be in the NFL for a while, floating around and playing here and there, Bryce, and earning a nice paycheck.
No doubt.
You brought up Mike Glennon, who it's crazy to think he's been around now 7 years. It'll be his 8th year coming up. Chandler, put you on the spot here. Can you name the now 5 teams Mike Glennon has been wait a minute, 6 teams. Let's see, because there's a new one this year, right?
Yeah, new one.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you name the 6 teams Mike Glennon has been a part of?
Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Buccaneers.
Yes.
Raiders.
Yes. He just signed with a new one. Do you know the new one? Because that one kind of don't count. He hasn't played for him yet. But
nah, I can't.
He's with the G-Men, right?
Yep.
Giants. And there's 2 more teams that he was with in 2018. He got a millie, and then in 2020 another millie.
Did he play for Arizona?
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
One more.
Maybe you should go to trivia tonight. You're killing this. Who did he play for in 2020? I shouldn't say play for. I don't know if he played a game.
Yeah.
Jaguars.
Dang.
Look at this man. Well done.
World?
But we're talking to a
State fan. How does he know that? Just random.
He is a huge Mike Glennon guy. He likes guys with long necks.
Yeah. I just remember the great comeback that he had against Maryland in his college days at NC State.
Yeah.
They were down like 4 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter.
Oh wow.
Or at halftime.
Yeah, Mike was a cool guy.
One of the strangest deals, though, this is great. I wish Troy was here. We'll have to bring this up, talking about the Bears quarterback situation over the last 30 years. The Bears brought him in the same offseason they traded up to draft Trubisky, and they gave Glennon $8 million. Like his salary was $8 million, $3 million signing bonus, $5 million roster bonus. They gave him all this money to do nothing, like to sit and not do anything.
Is that what they're going to do with Andy Dalton?
Oh, so they're going to trade up, draft another guy, and Andy Dalton is going to get his money. But Bryce, here's another interesting factoid. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in their entire history, have only had one quarterback that signed a second contract with the team. So that you come in, you get your contract. You're a rookie, you get your contract. They have only re-signed one quarterback ever. Do you know who it is?
I thought I just saw our Tom sign.
There it is.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is the only Bucs quarterback ever to get a second contract with the team.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy to think
Let's
about?
deal with Jameis Winston, I guess, since he was drafted by him.
Yeah. He played out his rookie deal and then left as a free agent to sign with the Saints.
Wow, that is a...
Josh Freeman didn't make it. Of course, they had Steve Young, who went to San Francisco back in the day. Doug Williams won a Super Bowl with the Redskins after he was a Bucs QB. So they have never had a guy good enough that warranted a second contract.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And Tom, of course, did it.
And Tom Brady has done it. All right, Bryce, what happened?
I went with my gut.
Tanner, can you bring Bryce's bracket in here? I forgot to get it during the break. Sorry.
Should be. It's in the middle. I was going to put it on top, but I was embarrassed.
Put it down low in the pile. So, I mean, in your defense, you have watched 0 college basketball this year.
Yeah.
How many tournament games have you watched? 0. Have you seen highlights? Do you know anything? Yeah, you knew there was some upsets. You told me about
I did some upsets just from the weekend and talking to one of my friends. My friend. Anna's friend's boyfriend about it and everything, because he back in, was it last year, 2 years ago? Like he did the bracket thing, and I guess he pays attention to about college basketball, and he was like one of the top 2%. He said in the world,
like in one of those big online deals.
Yeah, like top 2% still left. So I got some green on there, some highlights that. Yeah, I mean,
Bryce, you could end up beating me. Because you have 2 Final Four teams left.
There we go.
I only have 1.
Uh-oh. Watch out, Clip.
But I don't think you're going to catch me with these numbers.
No, I'm only at 23. You're at 40. So I got to come up with another, what was that, 17 points?
Yeah, your second round here, it got a little rough. You Wichita State, Iowa hurt you. I had.
So Georgetown lost the.
They got crushed first game.
Oh yes, 12. Yeah, I went with my gut. Georgetown. I tell you what.
So this is not your thing. And West Virginia, unfortunately, I had them winning. Syracuse is on a roll right now.
Yeah, that was a close game because Troy was sure to rub that in my face. He sent me a picture of the Syracuse. Said, "Well, so much for your West Virginia."
Well, that's right up Troy's alley. Have you heard about the controversy regarding Troy recently and the brackets?
Oh yeah, the Iona, Iowa situation.
Yeah, where do you stand on that?
Hey,
should he get a point?
You know what I'm thinking? You got to be focused when you're filling out your bracket. You know,
Bryce, you had Iowa going a long ways.
Yeah.
And you have a clear W, which surely we all know what a W is at this point.
It's two little butt cheeks.
That's right.
A W is two little butt cheeks. Bryce, you have clear butt cheeks in your
clear
W's.
butt cheeks. Like I said, Troy, unfortunately, man, you got to be more focused.
Yeah.
You know, when you're filling out your bracket. That's all I got to say.
Clearly wrote. Iona was in the tournament.
It's all the way over here. How did he write Iona in the daggum West?
He claims that it was a sloppy W.
I see a hump there, Troy. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's clear as day. That's an N.
So and he did it twice.
Yeah, exactly. So Bryce is voting a no. No point for Troy D.
I know.
That is our bracket controversy of 2021. All right, I tell you what, we need to get another break in, and we also need to get a little Pirate Radio Outdoors going. When we return, find out what Bryce Williams has been up to on the water, in a stand or otherwise. That and more on the way on Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. We're back with you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a GMC Terrain and save up to $7,000 off. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
In a world of fake profiles, fake tans, and fake flavors, naturally flavored Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer strives for realness. It's USDA certified organic, with no sugar or carbs, and only 80 calories. So the only thing touching your taste buds is organic, refreshing, and delicious. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri 63118.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Coach Joe Dooley. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been caring for all athletes at East Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for a joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experience and professional services, call the folks at Orthopedics East at 252-757-2663 or visit them online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
Join us for the first annual North Carolina Strut Masters Championship on Saturday, April 10th. Presented by Crescent Tools. Brought to you by Mountain Dew, Yeti, Sam Jones Barbecue, Spring Hill Outfitters, and Nomad. Compete against some of the best turkey hunters in the country, like Michael Waddell, Hal Schaefer, and Nate Hosey. Live performances by Nate Hosey and much, much more. Registration now open for 2-man teams at ncstrutmasters.com. Teams with the top scoring birds will win big cash prizes, up to $15,000. The tournament is open to residents and non-residents that have access to hunt properties in North Carolina. Deadline to register is March 31st. Weigh-in is at R.A. Woods Farms, 39 Vanderford Thomas Road in Farmville, North Carolina. We'll see you there. Are you trying to reduce clutter? Want to save a tree? Greenville Utilities can help. E-bill is a simple solution. Imagine getting an email letting you know your bill is ready. And with a few clicks on your computer or smartphone, you can review and pay your bill. It's just that easy. Signing up is simple. All you need to do is to log onto your account at guc.com and update your contact information and e-bill setting. You can even continue to receive a paper bill if you'd like. E-bill from Greenville Utilities. Just one of the ways GUC is here for you.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has something for everyone, like New York-style pizza, lasagna, chicken, veal, or eggplant parmesan, homemade meatballs, plus a variety of seafood selections and favorites, like the steak burger and southern pork chop. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Jersey Mike's Day of Giving is Wednesday, March 31st. That means all sales, all day, all donated. Enjoy a great sub for a great cause and get delivery with our app. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. If you can make a difference, you should. At Jersey Mike's, it's this simple philosophy that spurs us to celebrate our month of giving. This March, enjoy a sub and donate to a great local cause. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Pirate Radio.
Go Pirates! Go Pirates! Arr! Yeah.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Thinking of remodeling your home or business? AG's Home Solutions has been serving the remodeling needs of Eastern North Carolinians since 2017. The company specializes in additions, kitchen and bath remodels, historic preservation, commercial upfitting, and new construction. AG's Home Solutions offers a full-service design center and showroom staffed with a knowledgeable sales and design consultant ready to help with any remodeling project. Visit aghomesolutions.com to get started today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Bryce Williams is here. Let's get our Pirate Radio Outdoors report. Bryce, nice day today.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Weather-wise, I had to take the jacket off inside. I got a little hot riding the bike around the hallway, so I had to take the jacket off. What's been going on the water? Or in a stand with a gun? What have you been up to?
Or otherwise, well, we had to didn't entertain. So Anna's birthday was Friday.
Don't make it sound like it was a bad thing.
I know. I mean, of course, I would love to have been on the boat or out in the woods or something. But Anna's birthday was Friday, but we entertained her friends and stuff this weekend. But I did, take care of a few little things for the boat. Always something to improve or fix with my boat. So I've been dealing with some of that. Just minor things or things that have been on my little checklist to do. And but I'm hoping obviously this weekend to do something at least on the boat. I think it's supposed to be nice. My brother and sister-in-law are coming down this weekend. So if we don't tour Greenville or whatever, we may jump on the boat. So who knows? So
make sure you tell your brother that he needs to step his game up.
Yeah, no. Come on, Kerry. You should have helped me out a lot better than that. You think a big brother would have gave me some advice, but I guess he just let my little wings fly and just make my own decisions.
Here, get out of the nest.
Yeah.
Fly away.
I know. So nothing there, but obviously just doing some sort of maintenance for, like I said, with the boat or fiddling with the fishing tackle and things like that. So it's always on the mind. We'll say that.
So again, I'm not into the hunting fishing stuff, Bryce, but I know of I've seen a lot of raffles where you can win excursions or trips, like hunting trips and fishing trips. If you could choose one of those, kind of an extravagant one, something all out of the norm for you, whether hunting or fishing, is there a location or a type of fish you would like to try to catch, something you would like to hunt out there? What would you choose?
Can I go a choice on hunting and a choice on fishing? Or
Absolutely.
Am I stuck to okay.
Absolutely.
Hunting.
I know it's tough for you to make a decision.
It is.
We did
tough.
the food thing, so I'm just gonna make it easy on you. Whatever you want to say.
You know, if I was hunting, that's obviously really tough. But dang, that's tough.
Oh no!
Because I don't know if I want to go big game or like wing shooting, waterfowl hunting. You know, I'm gonna go with my first instinct.
Okay.
Of course, there's a lot, but I'll go with my first instinct. Obviously, like go to, Arkansas is a big, a huge place for, duck hunting and things like that in the swamps and everything like that. So I'd love to go on like a duck hunting down in Arkansas.
Okay.
Would be awesome. And then fishing.
What's that catch? What's that one catch you want to make?
Man. I mean, I'd probably love to just do some like inshore down in like the Keys or Florida or something like that. I mean, offshore is great, but you hook up with a big marlin or catching a big tuna actually would be sweet.
Yeah.
Because then I could eat it. You obviously don't eat marlin, so I'm going like inshore, probably somewhere down in the Keys or Puerto Rico, somewhere inshore catching some exotic fish and all that stuff would be cool. Like hooking up a tarpon would be sweet.
Oh yeah,
and things like that.
How much could one of those giant tunas feed?
Oh my god!
Like, how many people?
I mean, just so you eat like a 5 ounce, 8 ounce tuna steak. I mean, those tuna get massive. Of course, you got different size tuna. I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think the bluefin get the biggest. But I think bluefin isn't as good as yellowfin. I don't think I've ever had bluefin, but I'm just going from what I've heard. I mean, they can get. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can get like in the 1,000-pound range, like massive.
And I don't mind telling people that I'm an idiot sometimes. I was shocked when I saw that show. What's the show where they catch the tuna?
Wicked Tuna?
Yeah, Wicked Tuna.
Yeah.
And saw how big they were.
Oh, it's insane.
For some reason in my brain, I swear, I just thought they were like just little normal-sized fish.
You're thinking of Bumblebee tuna can.
I think so, like, because the cans or the bags are so small.
Right, yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, okay, it's just, but they brought that thing in, and I was like, holy
goodness.
crap.
Dude, they're insane. I mean, it is just, I mean, of course, all those big fish are big, all muscle, but just the way those tuna are built, I mean, so like muscle torpedoes, I guess you could say. I mean, it is insane. I've never caught one, obviously, but you look at the size of reels they've got.
Yeah.
They're like, I think they're around 80 wides, or I'm not even gonna say it, maybe 120s. I think how big some of the big reels can get, but they are just cranking away. I mean, they're geared so low, to be able to haul those things in. So a tuna would be cool. I'm not trying to fight a fish for like 3 hours. I'd rather just get that, just keep, have a big fight, good fight for, however 20 minutes or whatever, maybe on like a tarpon or whatever. And then try and catch some other things, bounce around and things like that. There's, offshore is great. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome to see that, catch some fish like that. But, it's a lot of. there's a lot that goes into it.
Sometimes it can be more than work than
right.
play.
You got to ride out. First you got to just prep the boat, get all your reels and rod and reels, and you got to get these big big ice. Fill the kill box up with ice and run out hour and a half, 2 hours, or whatever it may be. Inshore, you grab your tackle box, a few rods, your cooler, some snacks, jet to maybe a 20-30 minute ride depending on where you go, and say, hey, you know what, I think I'm gonna call it a day, dock up to a restaurant and go have some drinks.
There you go.
I mean, that's
sounds
great.
like a fun day.
It's a lot more low key, but obviously offshore has its pros and cons because it is awesome when you get a dang 60-pound wahoo, which obviously you get bigger, but 60-some pound wahoo that's as long as this table is a blast. It's cool out there, but I think I'm more of an inshore guy.
Thank you for answering. A good answer. I'm not surprised you didn't say like you want to be on one of those crab boats with the cages and the freezing temperatures and the rain and the wind.
If I could I'll spend about 30 minutes on it, but just if I'm able to like maybe throw the hook, put it in the pulley, get one of the crabs, and we go eat it.
Right.
And then I'm done. Get the helicopter to come pick me up.
All day, every day for a week or 2 weeks.
Just with those waves.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, cold.
Yeah,
No,
not in the
you
cards.
know the beds aren't long enough for me to lay in.
You must be this height
Oh,
or
yeah.
lower to get on this boat. So
Yeah, for
you're
sure.
out.
So,
all right,
yeah.
let's get our last break in. We'll come back, more Pirate Radio Live. We'll wrap it up, let you know what's coming up on Thursday's show when we return after this.
Hey, O's fans, the all-new 2021 5-game flex plan is available now at Orioles.com/flex, providing you with the ultimate flexibility to select the games that fit your schedule and priority before the general public to select your games, including popular promo dates like the Jim Palmer bobblehead and Birdland Hawaiian shirt. Starting at just $99, you'll save big over single-game ticket costs, plus all plans are protected by O'Surance. Visit Orioles.com/flex.
Introducing Tommy Club, the best car wash value anywhere. Starting at just $19.99 a month, you can wash your car as often as you like, and also take advantage of our express lanes exclusively for Tommy Club members. You can enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride to a spot-free shine faster and as often as you like when you're a member of Tommy Club. Plus, our vacuums and mat washers are always free. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
At US Cellular, we believe everyone deserves 5G. And we're so confident in our network, we're offering 6 months of free service with 5G included, no extra charge. Plus, 5G is included in all our plans. US Cellular. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply. See store or uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
In studio today with Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions. Tony, tell us about your business.
So the name of our company is named after me, Anthony Gene Edwards, and that's where we get most of the questions from. Where did AGs come from? We are a fully licensed commercial and residential remodeling company, and we're based out of Washington. We have a showroom with a design center. I have a second general contractor that works in my office with us. Her name is Kathy Herring, and we'll be glad to come out and take a look at any properties you want to renovate, remodel, or additions you may want to do.
What sort of projects do you guys do for folks, and what distinguishes you from your competition?
So we do a lot of historical properties, and probably one of the biggest things that separates us is we're very innovative. We can figure out how to use small spaces to make larger spaces. Folks are more remodeling and staying at their homes instead of selling and buying new homes and bigger homes. So we can take older homes and bring them up to date with open concept.
What's the best way for people to contact you?
252-947-2526, and our website is agshomesolutions.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a quick look at your stock market report. It was a down day. The Dow dropped 3 points and closed at 32,420. The NASDAQ was down 265 points at 12,961, and the S&P was down 21 as well at 3,889. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to the show. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, we're in overtime. This hour flew by, Bryce, and I think part of the reason why it's always fun talking football.
Yes, it is.
Flew by. Hope we'll have some more Mike Houston audio to talk about next Wednesday when you join us. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank y'all for having me yet again.
Enjoy your date tonight.
Birthday celebration.
Another birthday celebration.
Yeah, it's my father-in-law's birthday now.
All right, happy birthday.
So
have fun. Enjoy it. We will see you folks coming up on Thursday, Chandler. We're going to talk to Corey Glory.
Hello.
The 1-0.
1-0.
I'll talk to Corey Glory coming up on the program. Stephen Igo, Troy D, and an update on the ECU ticket situation as well. We will see you Thursday, 3 o'clock on Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation